Cape's leader, sports radio play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Chatham A's baseball, sports radio play-by-play. Let's go A's! Wooden bats through the fog, playing under the lights. The stars of tomorrow shine tonight.
On an overcast evening in Chatham, Massachusetts, we welcome you to Veterans Field for a Friday night matchup between the Chatham A's and Brewster Whitecaps. Alongside Andrew Selover, I'm Jack Smith. Thank you for joining us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Andrew, the A's improved to 3-2 yesterday, and while they didn't jump off the scoreboard, they may have played their best game of the year in a 2-1 win over the Orleans Firebirds.
And Chatham's pitching was right back to itself after struggling a lot against Hyannis. Gave up 11 runs. Then the off day reset that Anglers pitching staff right back to great baseball and a low-scoring quick battle in Orleans.
It was a 2-hour and 25-minute game that saw the A's allow just 4 hits. Pitching struck out 12, and the Anglers did just muster enough offensively to get the win. With a run coming in the top of the 9th inning before Titan Hayes came in and closed things out. The visitor today is the Brewster Whitecaps as we return to Veterans Field with a little bit of fog ahead, but looks like we're going to be okay for baseball. The Whitecaps come in with a 2-3 record. They are trailing Chatham in the Eastern Division standings, but coming off a big win last night that saw the Whitecaps score more runs than their first 4 games combined.
You never really know with the fog around here, Jack, so it could be back in about 15 minutes for all we know. But it was here for batting practice, and for now we are clear skies and good for baseball. But yes, yesterday Brewster, the bats really broke out. 15-4 win against Wareham, and that's what this Whitecaps team needed. Some of these teams, you know, it's more of an adjustment for the hitters than the pitchers, and that's been the case for both of these teams. Chatham's offense still kind of struggling to keep up, and the same for Brewster until yesterday.
Both teams trying to adjust to playing on the Cape. They're 5 games in. They've got a game after the off day, and they will ready up to play underneath the fog, underneath the lights, and with some slight cloud cover up above here at Veterans Field. We welcome you to the Anglers Extra pregame show, where we have Catch of the Day, the Manager's Show, and more talk about the A's and Whitecaps coming up. First pitch starts at 7, 18 minutes away from the Whitecaps and Anglers tangling it out here at Veterans Field. The fans are up, the flag is hanging out in right, and we'll be right back on the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Jack Smith, joined by Sheets for the Manager's Show. Sheets, a 2-1 win yesterday over Orleans. What did you see from your squad?
First and foremost, how happy you were that we won. Were you excited?
You make fun of me too much.
No, we're building rapport on camera. Like over the summer, like we're really going to get to know each other. Are you happy that we won?
I am happy that we get to talk to you about a win, and I'm happy that we're matching here with the red.
We are. We're looking good. We felt really good. I mean, I think it was a great ball game, man. It was really cool to watch a couple pitcher duels and watch those guys compete. And then, you know, it came down to, we talk about this a lot, it's the first team that blinks. And you find this moment where they blink for just a second, and ours came in the 9th, and we were able to string a couple hits together. And, you know, we felt really good going to Hayes there in the 9th, as you guys saw too. It's a really good ball game. It's fun to walk away with a win.
What led you to the decision to use Phil Fox and Titan Hayes for the second time? Because yesterday was the first day you used a pitcher twice.
Yeah, well, we talked about, these guys getting them not only their cleats kind of in the dirt in the Cape, but we also kind of know their exit plans. So we want to make sure that we're getting them where we need them. They both are guys that can pitch a lot, and we want them to pitch a lot. And as you saw, they're two really reliable arms. Once they come in, you know what you're getting. And I think that's the piece that with some of these guys, we're trying to find out what they are, because maybe the spring didn't go the way they wanted. They're still trying to uncover some things about themselves. We know who Phil Fox is. We know who Titan Hayes is. And so for us, it's easy to plug them in because you know exactly what you're going to get.
What'd you get yesterday from your starter, Liam Paddock?
Golly, kid was lights out. I mean, the one thing that you go back to is, man, he's got experience in this league. So
every Friday, the Cape Cod Baseball League participates in Red Shirt Friday to honor veterans and military families. As part of the Red Shirt Friday game, the Anglers, the home team tonight, are wearing red jerseys and camo hats. Here's the starting.
Some of the other ones, but it's just what he did to lengthen that game out, get us into the sixth. To where it gave Fox a couple innings and Titan the one, and it made all the sense in the world. He pitched extremely well. Really proud of Liam last night for sure.
Today you use a starter for the second time. Evan Crest gets his first start here at Veterans Field. What do you hope to see for him tonight?
Exactly what Evan
batting
Crest
third
does.
for Brewster, the designated hitter from Oklahoma State, number 15, Nolan Schubert.
Knows how to get out of traffic. I think that's all you can ask of guys at this point. Like, you got to be confident in who you are. You got to know your stuff. But for us as coaches, we really want to know what we're getting. And so that's what we're trying to uncover with the offense. But there are things about Crest, there's things about Foxy, there's things about Titan, there's things about,
batting fifth for Brewster from Ole Miss, the second baseman, number 13, Andrew Fisher. Batting sixth from Texas State, the shortstop for Brewster, number 4, Chase Morrow.
Jack Smith here with Sheets on the Manager Show. Sheets, Campbell Smithwick told me he thought yesterday was maybe your guys' best offensive day at the plate approach-wise. Yeah. And he says that when you guys aren't striking out, you're a great offense. Yeah. When this team isn't striking out, what's it doing right?
Well, I mean, it's getting on base. I mean, you guys have talked about it a lot, and I know Coop and Zach have as well. Like, when you've got patient at-bats that – get in deeper in the counts, and you're letting the guy on deck see 6-7 pitches.
The center fielder for Brewster, number 1, R.J. Johnson.
The walk could be there, or the base hit.
Outbound this evening for Brewster Whitecaps from Louisville. Number 25, Patrick Forbes. Forbes on the mound tonight for the Brewster Whitecaps.
You make them make plays. Now,
the Brewster Whitecaps are managed by Jamie Shevchik.
But if those don't go your way, where the strikeout's too easy. It's a catcher, all he has to do is put his glove on it. I know that sounds super simple, but strikeouts are easy. When you force contact,
leading off the center fielder for the University of...
The better we did at that.
Number 9, Austin Over.
The better we did at that, the more we found ourselves to get the pitch to hit, i.e. the ninth inning.
Second for the Yankees, the second base. 24 from Georgia Tech, Kyle Looney.
I think we're starting to unravel who we are.
Batting third for Chatham, the designated hitter from Auburn, number 4, Irish.
That's it for the Manager's Show.
In the cleanup spot for the Anglers, the left fielder from Boston P, number 10, John Bay.
Talking about his offense, trying to get a groove. The Anglers have scored the second fewest runs in the East Division on the Cape, but Chatham has also allowed the fewest runs as a pitching staff in the East Division. The Anglers have only given up 16 runs across 5 games, including last night when Chatham allowed just 1 run when facing off against Orleans. Tonight, it's another East Division matchup as Chatham goes against Brewster.
From Texas Tech, number 36, Landon Stripling.
When we return, we'll have catch of the day for you.
Batting 8 for Chatham, the right fielder from Mercer, number 6, Ty Daly.
Continues from Veterans Field.
Batting 9 for Chatham, the catcher from Ole Miss, number 12, Campbell Smithwick.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located
tonight for the Chatham Anglers
at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game, or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at SweetTomatosCapeCod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Andrew Selover, and for Catch of the Day, I have Malachi Witherspoon. Malachi, we already talked to your brother on this program, so now we got to talk to you. Cape Cod, walk me through your experience week one.
Week one definitely was a fun experience so far. I mean, met a lot of people. I don't think I could be anywhere better for this summer, for sure.
What is it about this league that inspires you to go out there and pitch so well?
Just constant competition. I mean, my teammates, they push me to get better every day, and then obviously the competition, you can't get any better.
We talked to Kyson about your recruitment journeys. Walk me through your recruitment journey to go play college baseball.
Yeah, kind of a long story. I'll try to keep it short. Was committed to 4 schools total. Out of junior year, it was Daytona State College. Ended up decommitting, committing to Jacksonville University, JU. Then from JU, didn't step on campus either of those schools. I ended up going to Northwest Florida, played my first year, my freshman year there, and then Oklahoma University.
When did you realize that you were good enough to play college baseball?
I always thought I had it in me, but it was once I started getting that college interest. It started with the Daytona State offer, and I really realized I could take it a long way.
How important has this sport been to your life?
I mean, it's number one. After my family and God, it's number one, for sure.
We talked to Kyson a little bit about the family aspect and the two of you playing together every step of the way. Yep. How important has he and your family been to your baseball career?
I'd say they're just my driving force. I mean, especially having Kyson around, he's my number one competitor, number one friend. Family just pushed me every step of the way. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better.
So talking to the two of you, Kyson said that you guys were ready to go your separate ways and play at different schools. Why has that not happened yet?
I mean, it's just God's work, honestly. I mean, we ended up having the opportunities to play at the same schools, and I can't ask for anything different. I mean, I'd love to play with him as long as I could, but it's always been in the back of our head, like, it can't last forever. Like, I'll end up being at one team, you'll end up somewhere else. It's just the way life goes. Out
of high school, you were drafted to play professional baseball. Why did you turn that down, and has the college experience lived up to what you expected? I'd say just betting on myself, knowing what I feel is my number one priority, and that's just getting better, and I felt the college route was my way. I just thought it's the only thing that I could do to get myself prepared to end up in that professional role. So the two of you went to Northwest Florida State and then transferred this past season to Oklahoma. Was that a group decision that the two of you would go play together again? It's just the way it goes. I mean, I like to think we're both pretty good, and Coach Skip Johnson, he thought the same way. It's just how it turned out, really. How would you describe your season at Oklahoma? I'd say it was great. It was a life changer. I mean, had the most fun I've ever had playing the game. Met a lot of new lifelong brothers that I'll talk to for as long as I can. What was it about this season that made it so fun? Just a brotherhood, family, camaraderie. Everybody, we'd be out at their house. It was just always something to do. A lot of fun and love in that house, for sure. Have you felt a similar group aspect here in Chatham? Yeah, definitely. Sheets has done a great job getting us all together. I mean, a lot of group activities. It's really easy to get along with these guys. We ended up going to the movie theater. What else do we do? Movie theater and line dancing. Is just having fun with the guys. Who's the best line dancer on the team? Best line dancer, I gotta say, I'm up there. I mean, I was fumbling over my feet a little bit, but it was a good time. Worst? I gotta think of the worst too. There's a lot of wallflowers in the line dancing, but Kyson was pretty good. I can't hate on him. Okay. I'll say Luke. Luke Cantwell? He wasn't doing too hot. All right, what would Luke Cantwell's reaction be if he found out you said that? He will agree. He will agree 100%. He was fumbling all day. All right, I got to see your reaction to a couple of Kyson's answers on this program. Okay. I asked him a couple things in a rapid-fire question. He said, better style goes to you, yes? I like to think so, yeah. I take my off-field clothing a little seriously now, yeah. He said smarter goes to you, too. Not by much, but yeah, it is there. The GPA is what says that. I think we're both pretty smart, though. And he said he's the better cook. He is. He's pretty good at it, yeah. All right, no brotherly fights on this show. We like it that way. No, we're honest. We're honest with each other. All right, Malachi, I appreciate the time. Have fun tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're getting ready for first pitch between Brewster and Chatham at Veterans Field. Back to Jack Smith for the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Well, I hope Luke Cantwell's a good sport about that. No one likes their dancing skills to be made fun of, especially me, because I can't line dance either. But a good job with Andrew talking with Malachi Witherspoon. Second Witherspoon to be on Catch of the Day, and there's just such a fantastic story that they're twins playing together here in Chatham. The The fans are filing in here at Veterans Field. We're just about ready for first pitch. We've got the lineups, the pitching matchup, and the first pitch coming up on the next side of this break. You're listening to the Anglers Extra pregame show. Stick with us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The new Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at www.chathambarsin.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Chatham A's Baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Andrew Selover and Jack Smith.
Good evening and welcome to today's presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. It's the 3-2 Chatham Anglers against the visiting 2-3 Brewster Whitecaps here at Veterans Field. We've got a little bit of fog above, but it is baseball weather nonetheless. Chatham in the red jerseys awaits on the left side, Brewster in the teal uniforms waiting down the right field line, and we're just about ready for first pitch here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. I'm Jack Smith, I'm joined by Andrew Selover, and we'll have coverage for you for as many innings as we can get in today. We hope it's 9, but after a couple of fog delays and fog outs last year, you can never be too sure here in Chatham. We've got lineups in the first pitch as long as a pitching matchup coming up on the other side of the national anthem. But for now, we'll send it over to the best PA man in the Cape Cod Baseball League, Peter Burns.
Please rise for tonight's national anthem. Sarah Jane Mason is a local music teacher and chorale director for the students at Monomoy Regional Middle School. She's honored to have 4 of her students also doing the national anthem at the Anglers games this summer. With tonight's national anthem, Sarah Jane Mason.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, brave, brave?
The national anthem complete. The legs are loose and the arms have been warmed up. We're just about ready for baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network, and we thank you for joining us here from Veterans Field. Let's get you the starting lineups from today's game as presented by Chatham Clothing Bar. For the visiting Whitecaps, who will bat first, it starts with the left-handed bat of J.D. Rogers. The Vanderbilt product plays left field and leads things off. Ryder Helfrich, the right-handed hitting catcher from Arkansas, bats second. Nolan Schubert, a former Chatham A, hits in the 3 spot, leads the Cape League in home runs. The left-handed hitting DH from Oklahoma State bats 3. Daniel Cuvée, the third baseman from Miami, hits right and hits in the cleanup spot. He's followed by Andrew Fisher, the left-handed hitting second baseman from Ole Miss, and then Chase Mora, the right-handed shortstop from Texas State. Bottom third of the order is 2 lefties and a righty. Cooper Vest, the first baseman from BYU. Nick Dumanel, the right fielder from Cal Baptist. And it's rounded out by R.J. Johnson, the center fielder from Rutgers.
The starting lineup for the Brewster Whitecaps at 2 and 3 under Jamie Shevchak. Leading things up, rather for the Anglers, at 3 and 2 under Sheets. Austin Overn leads things off and plays center field out of USC. Kyle Lodise in the 2-hole plays second base out of Augusta. Ike Irish bats third, the DH out of Auburn. In the cleanup spot from Austin Peay, the left fielder John Bay. Iva Arquette, the shortstop from Washington, bats fifth for Chatham. Luke Cantwell, the first baseman from Pittsburgh, is in the 6-hole. The 7th spot from Texas Tech, Landon Stripling, bats 7th and plays third base. From Mercer, Ty Dowey is the right fielder. He bats 8th. And rounding out the starting 9, back behind the dish, catching the pitches from the starting pitcher, Evan Crest, is Campbell Smithwick out of Ole Miss. For the Anglers, that's 6 left-handed batters and 3 right-handers.
Your starting lineups presented by Chatham Clothing Bar, and it leads us into the pitching matchup as presented by Red Nun Bar and Grill. 2 sophomore right-handers will toe the slab today. For Chatham, it's the 6-foot, 180-pound righty Evan Crest. He goes against a 2-way player for Brewster, Patrick Forbes, the 6'3", 215-pound righty from Louisville. Andrew, we saw Crest pitch on opening day for the A's. He was very successful, 3 1/3 innings pitched, no runs allowed, 6 strikeouts, and we see him touch the rubber for the 2nd time today.
It took a lot higher number of pitches than I'm sure Crest imagined to get through that 3 1/3, and Chatham is looking for him to go a little bit deeper into this ball game. You saw Liam Paddock make it into the 6th last night, so hoping the Anglers coaching staff is looking for Crest to maybe take this into the 5th or 6th inning for them tonight.
We'll have more on his opening day start, his repertoire, and what he's going to bring to the mound tonight for the Anglers as the 1st inning continues. It's the top of the 1st from Veterans Field. The fans are here, the flag is waving, and we're ready for baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. J.D. Rogers, Ryder Helfrich, and Nolan Schubert, the 3 to the plate for Brewster here to lead things off. 2 lefties and a righty against the right-hander Evan Crest. Crest from the windup, he stares in, he nods, and he's ready for the first pitch of the game. It's popped up, left field line. Should be playable for Bay, who ranges over to his right. Just in front of the line, he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Evan Crest. And that takes us to the defensive alignment here today for the Anglers. It's Bay, Overn, and Dally in the outfield from left to right. Cantwell and Lodise on the right side of the infield. Arquette Stripling on the left side with Smithwick behind the plate. Your defensive alignment presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. First pitch came in a minute late at 7:01. It is cloudy and overcast, but 70 degrees here in Chatham. The right-handed bat of Ryder Helfrich steps in. First pitch to him. Helfrich takes outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So we are underway from Veterans Field. Avoided a fog scare pregame during batting practice. Still gray, but playable. 1-0. Swing and a foul ball off the foot of Ryder Helfrich. The count evens up, a ball and a strike. 1 out, nobody on, as Evan Crest comes back into his windup, holds his glove high above his head, pulls it down to his waist, and now he throws 1-1. Check swing, but a strike on the outside corner. Helfrich was all kinds of tied up, and the count moves to 1-2. He tried to check his swing, and then he tried to go around, and he ended up somewhere in the middle. Crest ready. Here's his 1-2. Down in the dirt with a breaking ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Helfrich, an Arkansas product, is 3 for 12 so far this summer. He's got one of a bounty of home runs for Brewster. 2-2. Down in the dirt once again. It kicks up some chalk as it goes into the glove of Campbell Smithwick. The count moves full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Crest pauses, he nods, he comes set. 3-2. Off the plate inside. He just missed with the fastball, and that's a walk to put the first base runner aboard for Brewster.
Walks have been a big talking point for this Chatham team. First 5 games, they've either helped the A's win the game or lose the game. Last night, the pitching staff did a good job limiting those walks. Liam Paddock, who sometimes can be erratic, only allowed 2 walks through just over 5 innings of work.
The lefty Nolan Schubert stands in with a runner at first now. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. No balls and a strike. Chatham walked just 2 yesterday en route to a 2-1 victory over Orleans at Eldridge Park. Schubert steps out, enters the box. A former Chatham A who played in Chatham Blue here at Veterans Field last summer. Swings his bat now 3 times through the zone. Brings it back behind his left ear. 0-1 from Crest. Runner on the move. It's high. Here's the throw from Smithwick. It skips in. The tag. Safe! A stolen base for Ryder Helfrich as the catcher swipes second just underneath the tag of Iva Arquette. Arquette points to the runner at second. Helfrich thought he got him, but our first base umpire, J.C. Fernandez, said safe. So it puts a runner in scoring position and a 1-1 count for Nolan Schubert. Crest from the stretch looks to second and brings it home. It is popped up back and out of play, a ball and 2 strikes.
I think Arquette thought that he didn't get the tag in time initially, but he thought that the slide from Helfrich brought him off the bag at some point, and he kept the tag on him. Did not get that call.
1-2 the count on Nolan Schubert as Crest, bent over at the waist, shakes a couple of times. Now finally nods and comes set. Puts the ball in the glove, glove at the belt. 1-2 home. Schubert takes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schubert, the DH today from Oklahoma State, is 4 for 17 so far this summer. 2 of his 4 hits have left the yard. The infield plays him to pull with a second baseman Lodis well onto the outfield grass and shifted over away from the second base bag. That's where Evan Crest looks. Now he comes home, and Schubert, a half-hearted swing, fouls it away. So still 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score yet between Brewster and Chatham. First ups for the Whitecaps in the top of the first inning. Last summer, Schubert hit .216 for the A's across 33 games played. Crest set once again. Front foot offset. 2-2 home. Schubert hits a high fly ball. Deep to right field, he knows it. Dally turns, he watches it fly. Halfway up the berm for Nolan Schubert's 3rd home run of the summer. It is 2-0 Brewster in the top of the first. Schubert, with his 3rd blast of the year, has already more home runs this summer than he did for Chatham all of last season. And he makes his return to Veterans Field in a loud way in the first inning. So Evan Crest tagged for 2, and with still 1 out, Daniel Cuvée steps in. First pitch from Crest. Cuvée takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. The home run off the bat of Nolan Schubert, 106 miles an hour, 377 feet. 1-0 offering. Missed off the inside corner with a fastball. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Cuvée. Right-handed hitter, 3rd baseman from Miami, who is 6 for 15 so far this summer. 2-0. Cuvée takes a strike. Slider pours in on the outside corner, 2-1. The walk to Helfrich, then the home run from Schubert has Brewster in front 2-0. From the windup, Crest's 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 91 miles an hour above the letters. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Crest. A lull has now fallen over Veterans Field as Crest throws 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He comes back after the home run with his first strikeout, and there's 2 away in the first.
Serious signs of improvement from year to year for Nolan Schubert. You mentioned the home run numbers. He was always dominant with the metal bat in school ball. First 2 years at Oklahoma State, both years really impressive. But this summer he's shown that he is a whole lot better of a batter with the wood bat in his hand than he was a summer ago here at Veterans Field.
Here's the lefty Andrew Fisher. He takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Schubert hit 23 home runs for Oklahoma State this year after 17 his first season with the Cowboys before coming to Chatham. 1-0. Fisher takes a strike on the outside corner with a fastball. It is 1-1. He hit .373 this year in the Big 12 with an on-base percentage at .518. Crests 1-1, and Fisher takes high, 2 balls and a strike. Brewster leads it 2-0 in the top of the first inning at Veterans Field on Nolan Schubert's 3rd home run of the summer already in just his 6th game. 2-1 offering. In there on the outside corner with a breaking ball. It cut from inside the right-hand batter's box to over the outer half of the plate to move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crest back in the windup. He nods with his sign. He comes home 2-2. Chopped foul. A half swing that's lined over the Chatham dugout. Like he was swinging to chop wood. Fisher fouls it away. The second baseman, Lodice, is on the outfield grass. Cantwell, the first baseman, backed up. In a 2-2 count, Crest comes home. Lined into right field, it's over. No! Catch made by Lodice. He gave ground and at the last second put his glove up to put it away for out number 3. But not before Brewster strikes for 2 runs here in the top of the first inning. J.D. Rogers flew out to left. Ryder Helfrich worked a walk in a 3-2 count, and Nolan Schubert announced his return to Chatham in emphatic fashion. Hit a home run onto the right field berm, nearly 380 feet, to give the Whitecaps a 2-0 lead. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Austin Overn, Kyle Lodice, and Ike Irish will bat for Chatham as we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Back for the bottom of the first inning here at Veterans Field, where the Brewster Whitecaps lead the Chatham Anglers 2-0 after the top of the first inning on a 2-run home run from Nolan Schubert that has the Caps in front. It'll be Austin Over and then Kyle Lodice, Ike Irish, the 3 to the plate for the A's, who Andrew looked to come back down 2-0 after Brewster took the lead in the first.
Yeah, loud home run off the bat of Nolan Schubert, a no-doubter onto the hill and right. And this ballpark really favors lefties. You can get it out if you get it to right field. Fortunately for Chatham, they put as many lefties as they can possibly put into the lineup tonight. All 6 left-handed bats are in the starting lineup against the righty starter Forbes.
First one we see is Austin Overn, the leadoff man from USC. First pitch to him, he takes a strike on the outside corner. No, a ball as Michael Hinojosa reared back like he was going to call a strike. Instead, he called it a little bit outside. So 1 ball and no strikes to count on Overn. 1-0 offering. Overn takes a strike at the top of the zone from Hinojosa, who's got a late strike call, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Hinojosa behind the dish, J.C. Fernandez at first, Mickey Garcia is our umpire at third. 1-1 offering. Over and slices it the other way. Down the left field line. It falls just foul. Garcia throws his hands up as Over missed extra bases by a foot or two. He takes the long walk back from where he was almost at second base when the ball fell. The USC single season record holder in triples was well on his way trying to get to third. So he picks the bat back up, stares down at his blue and red batting gloves to match the Chatham uniforms, and steps back in the box. Quickly the 1-2. Off the plate outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A fastball at 97 from Patrick Forbes, the righty getting the start for Brewster, who went 4 innings scoreless with 9 strikeouts on opening day for the Caps. 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Over and chased the high fastball again at 97. There's 1 away in the bottom of the first.
It's real strikeout material from Forbes. Can run that fastball up into the high 90s. It was pretty impressive at Louisville this year, a 3.72 earned run average, although he didn't pitch a ton, just 29 innings.
Kyle Lodis takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. 2-0 Brewster, bottom of the first inning at Veterans Field. 1 out and the bases empty for Chatham. Forbes shakes from the windup. 0-1. Swinging a ground ball left side through a base hit. Lodis takes the turnaround first. He'll put on the brakes there. He's got Chatham's first hit, a single with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Back to Forbes. He's a 6'3", 215-pound righty. Entering his junior season, he's still just 19 years of age. He pitched for Brewster last summer and was a Cape League All-Star. He looks at his former Brewster teammate, Ike Irish, who's now wearing the red uniform for Chatham on a home Friday night. Back of the box. And Irish takes a fastball off the plate outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So 2 former summer teammates duking it out with a runner at first and 1 away. Forbes pauses from the stretch, gets his sign and comes set. Back leg bent, his 1-0 is down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Andrew, if Nolan Schubert went from Chatham to Brewster, the equivalent here is Ike Irish, lefty, 3-hole hitter, who went from Brewster to Chatham.
It's like a trade from these 2 teams for the summer.
Chatham would love if Irish did the same thing. He lines it right to short, and it's caught by Mora. Had to back up a step to his right, put his glove up, and make the catch. And Ike Irish robbed of a base hit, 99 off the bat for out number 2. He hit it just as hard. He just hit it in the wrong spot.
A couple other former Chatham anglers on the roster for Brewster this summer. Gabe Davis out of Oklahoma State. The pitcher is on the staff here for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Pick back to first, and Lodis dives back in.
Caden Kent, infielder out of Texas A&M, also rostered for Brewster, but he's a little preoccupied in Omaha, headed to the College World Series Finals this weekend.
John Bay to the plate. First pitch to the righty. And Bay takes off the plate inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Bay, the right fielder from Austin P, hitting with Lodis at first, 2 outs. In the bottom of the first inning, Brewster leads 2-0. 1-0 from Forbes. Bay breaks his bat on a slow roller second. Fisher charges, he corrals it, and he throws him out at first. A little bit of lumber for Patrick Forbes, who's through the bottom of the first inning. 1 hit allowed, but no runs for Chatham on no errors. 1 runner left on base. Heading to the top of the second, it's 2-0 Brewster on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
What I want, you got, and it might be hard to handle, but like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Yeah, what I got, full stock of thoughts and dreams to scatter.
Hi, this is Campbell Smithwick from Ole Miss. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hotty toddy.
Welcome back to Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network for the top of the second inning between Brewster and Chatham. The Whitecaps lead 2-0 as we enter the top of the second, and Brewster will send Chase Mora, Cooper Vest, Nick Dumanel to the plate against the right-handed starter for Chatham, Evan Crest. Crest allowed a home run to Nolan Schubert in the first inning, knocked in both of the Brewster runs, and now will look to bounce back, try and throw up a scoreless frame in the top of the second. He'll face Chase Mora, the shortstop from Texas State, to start things off. Righty-righty matchup against Mora. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A half-hearted effort from Chase Mora, but he goes around on a breaking ball off the outside corner. No balls and one strike.
Seen a couple of those swings that just look really uncomfortable already from Brewster bats.
0-1 from Crest. Swing and a miss. Again, Mora couldn't decide whether he wanted to go or not. It's back-to-back swords to start the at-bat. No balls and two strikes.
Only problem is Nolan Schubert put one real comfortable swing on the baseball.
0-2 home. Off the plate outside. He went back to the breaking ball, but this time couldn't generate a swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mora 5 for 18 so far this summer. He's got 4 runs batted in. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He went to the fastball and accelerated it past the bat at 92. 1 away. Second strikeout for Evan Crest, who outside of the home run pitched well in the first inning. Problem was he gave up a nearly 400-foot blast. Cooper Vest steps up now, the left-handed hitting first baseman from BYU. Crest, the righty, from the windup, nods for his sign. He kicks and deals, and Vest takes a strike right at the belt at 83. It's the changeup for Evan Crest that gets him ahead, no balls and 1 strike. Brewster 2, Chatham 0. We're in the top of the second inning at Veterans Field. 0-1 from Crest. Off the plate outside with a fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Crest has a 4-pitch mix, a 4-seam fastball and a 2-seam fastball. He'll also work in a changeup and a slider. 1-1. Swinging a line drive, left field line, it falls for a base hit. Bay chases it into the corner, he watches it bounce off the bottom of the wall. Vest takes the turn from first, heads into second, and he's aboard with a 1-out double. Another ball hit hard from a lefty bat in this Brewster lineup. Vest goes the other way to pick up his 3rd hit of the summer. It's a double that puts him in scoring position with 1 out. That one came off the bat at 96. And it was slicing away from John Bay, who had no chance but to watch it hit off the blue wall. It brings to the plate Nick Dumanel, the right fielder and a right-handed hitter from Cal Baptist. Runner at second, 1 out on Brewster's 2nd hit of the night. Dumanel chops it towards second. On one knee, Lodis has it. He slings underhand to first, and he gets him in time for the out. Vest advances to 3rd, and with the 2nd out, that brings up R.J. Johnson.
Number 1, R.J. Johnson.
Big at bat here for Evan Crest, trying to keep it a 2-0 deficit. Before you flip the lineup over, try and limit the damage and get a scoreless frame on the board.
Crest is ready. First pitch to the lefty Johnson. Is a slider off the plate outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Vest at 3rd, he doubled with 1 out and advanced on the ground ball from Nick Dumanel. Crest searches for the final out of the inning, trying to get the A's back to the plate. 1-0, and Johnson ropes it into right field. It's a base hit. On a couple of hops to Ty Daly, the right fielder, who tosses it in toward second. Vest comes in to score, and the Whitecaps have a 3-0 lead. A 102 off the bat of R.J. Johnson, and the lefties continue to pick up Evan Crest.
This is what Brewster did yesterday, and they are keeping the momentum at the plate after putting up 15 a day ago against Wareham.
3 hits now for the Whitecaps through 1 2/3. Back to the top of the lineup, J.D. Rogers tries to push a bunt down the 3rd base line, and it rolls foul. No balls and a strike, 1 run in for Brewster. A Runner at first and 2 outs. All 3 hits have come from lefties. The home run from Schubert, the double from Cooper Vest earlier in this inning, and then the RBI single from R.J. Johnson. Johnson off the bag at first, he's going, 0-1. It's off the plate outside. Smithwick's throw is a little bit wide to the left. The runner is safe. Second stolen base for Brewster as R.J. Johnson swipes second. So another runner in scoring position for the Whitecaps. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Crest bent at the waist. Glove pin now on his belt comes set. 1-1. Change up on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2. Another late strike call from Michael Hinojosa, who gets a little bit of an earful from J.D. Rogers, who steps out, changes the batting gloves, and gets back in the box. Crest searches for his sign with a runner at second and 2 away. He looks R.J. Johnson back to the bag, brings it home. And a changeup misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rogers led off the game with a fly out to left on the first pitch from Evan Crest. The left fielder from Vanderbilt is 0 for 1. Two-two delivery. Popped up left side, out of play. It curls over the Chatham dugout, rolls into the parking lot. And a couple of Chatham Kid fans race after it underneath a car. And it looks for now like no one can find it. They come back, they find their parents empty-handed. Still 2-2 with 2 outs. 1 run in for Brewster. 2-2 from Crest. Off the plate inside with a fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch count, which was a problem for Crest in his first start, becoming part of the narrative here in just the second inning. This pitch will be number 41 after he went 70 pitches across 3 1/3 on opening day. Payoff pitch. Off the plate outside. He missed with a breaking ball, and that's a walk to put runners on first and second. Andrew, the sharpness that we saw from Evan Crest on opening day just has not quite been there here in his second start.
And that's one where you're trying to nibble at the corners of the strike zone because he's been hit a little bit harder tonight. And so he's trying to, you know, bite off the corners, get a couple strikes called for himself as opposed to pitch to contact.
That was the second walk he allowed today. The first one came to Ryder Helfrich, who steps in now. Runners at first and second, 2 away. And Helfrich takes a strike. Breaking ball on the outside corner, gets Crest ahead in the count, no balls and a strike. R.J. Johnson is the runner at second. J.D. Rogers, after his walk, strides off first. Gets a big lead as Cantwell is playing behind him and not holding him on. Right on right matchup. Crest deals to Helfrich, who swings and taps it foul. Again, a half-hearted effort. The pitch was nearly in the glove of Smithwick, and Helfrich finally decided to go around halfway and foul it back to the backstop. Crest is ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. He stares in for his sign from Smithwick. Pitch clock winding down, he comes set. 0-2. Upstairs with a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. At 91 miles an hour, on the StatCast strike zone, he found the outer edge at the top of the zone, but Hinojosa does not give him strike 3. One-two on the way. Runners on the move, and a swing and a pop-up back behind home plate, out of play. So it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnson was taking off for third, Rogers for second. And on a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone, Helfrich was able to just catch a piece. Lodice near the bag at second. Crest looks there and brings it home. Popped up on the infield right side. Luke Cantwell, the first baseman, calls everybody off. He comes in and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Not before the Whitecaps score a run on 1 hit and 1 walk. We head to the bottom of the second. Chatham trails at 3-0, but coming back to the plate, it's 5-6-7 in the A's order on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
It's time for the bottom of the second inning here at Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham trails Brewster 3-0 and sends 5-6-7 to the plate. Iva Arquette, Luke Cantwell, and Landon Stripling. First pitch from Patrick Forbes to Iva Arquette is up high with a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Arquette is a righty, and then Cantwell and Stripling 2 lefties against Forbes, who worked around a hit in the first. Arquette takes off the plate outside with another fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Arquette, the right-handed hitting shortstop from Washington, twirls the bat a couple of times and awaits the 2-0. Here it is. He swings and pops it up foul. Out of play behind the first base dugout. And the count pushes to 2 balls and a strike. Chatham's starter Evan Crest gave up 2 runs in the first off a home run by Nolan Schubert and another run in the top half of this inning on an RBI single from R.J. Johnson. 2-1. Arquette takes inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Arquette is 5 for 15 this summer. He's got 3 runs batted in, and he's got the duty of leading off here against Forbes in the second. 3-1 home. A tapper back near the mound with a bare hand. Forbes to first. Safe. It was softly hit off the bat of Iva Arquette, but for the second straight night, he runs it out. He got the game-winning RBI like that yesterday, and today he reaches with a single in the second.
Still a great play by the pitcher, Patrick Forbes. I thought for sure when that one bounced down on the check swing it was a single no matter what. Forbes got to it and made it a bang-bang play at first base.
I'm not sure Arquette meant to swing or knew that he hit it. At the very least, sure looked like it was going to go foul.
Take the hit however you can get it.
First pitch to Cantwell is a breaking ball on the outside corner, no balls and a strike. So Arquette has a leadoff single. It's the second hit of the day for Chatham after Lodis had a base hit of his own in the first. Right on left with Cantwell standing up high on his toes. He swings and lofts it into right. Towards the line, Dumanel races on. He dives, and he didn't catch it. It's in and out of his glove as Arquette goes to second. Back-to-back soft hits for Chatham. Has runners at first and second with nobody out.
With Forbes' velocity on the mound, even with a left-handed batter in Cantwell at the plate, the outfield was shifted to the left side. And so for Cantwell to go the other way because of how hard the fastball comes in the high 90s from Forbes. So when Cantwell turned on that one and it was headed towards the right field chalk line, it was a long run for Dumanel. Straight up, I think he's there pretty comfortably.
The clouds and the incoming fog up above are making it hard to read some of these balls off the bat. Chatham with 2 different soft base hits, one a roller down the third base line, that one a flare into right. And it gives Landon Stripling the chance to bat with runners at first and second, nobody out. First pitch to Stripling, he squares to bunt and he pushes it foul towards the Chatham dugout. No balls and a strike. 3-0 Brewster here in the bottom of the second inning at Veterans Field. The A's have a threat with 2 on and nobody out. See if Stripling squares again. He's got a wide stance in the back of the left-hand batter's box. The third baseman Cuvée now pulls in to watch the bunt. Stripling does not square and he swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. So bunt sign off and Stripling went chasing at the high fastball. He's now down in an 0-2 hole. His stance widens. Cocks his back leg. 0-2 from Forbes. Up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes at 94 miles an hour. Stripling is 1 for 9 so far this summer. He's trying to battle with Ty Daly waiting on deck. Arquette off second, Cantwell off first. Here's the 1-2. It's hit down the left field line, hooking foul. Near the cars in the parking lot, next to the Red Nun Bar and Grill, outside of Veterans Field. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Forbes toes the slab. He stares in for his sign. Black glove pinned on his teal Brewster jersey. 1-2 offering. Inside, ball 2. He missed with a fastball that he was trying to plant on the inside corner. At 95, it neared the knees of Landon Stripling to move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Middle infield double play depth. The shortstop Mora in the back pocket of Iva Arquette. 2-2 the count. Forbes stares in, now comes set. Another 2-2. Swinging a fly ball into right field. Chases Dumanel back a couple of steps. He now camps under it, runs in and makes the catch. Arquette bluffed as if he was going to tag. He'll stay at second. Stripling is retired with a non-productive out for the first one of the second.
The right fielder from Mercer, number 6, Ty Daly.
Andrew, we saw Chatham working on bunting in the early work portion of the day today, as Brewster will send a man to visit with Forbes on the mound. There is action in the Brewster pen. Forbes has only thrown an inning and a third after being Brewster's opening day starter. But back to the bunting, Chatham worked on it for nearly an hour early on today, nearly 1:30 p.m. Stripling could not get the bunt down, and in the end, neither runners advanced.
Ramon Orozco, Chatham's third base coach, was talking to me about how this offense, you're not going to get 10 to 12 hits a game in this league, and so manufacturing runs is really important, and trying to find confidence in different approaches at the plate is important early on in the season. And how this coaching staff has, said that there's an approach change where the first week was kind of, we're going to do this as a team, and then after that, they're trying to treat these guys as professionals and allowing them to dictate what they want to do and how they want to prepare for these games. And today that was working on the bunting practice.
Michael Hinojosa, the home plate umpire, goes out to check on the mound visit, and it's Jamie Shevchuk who's out there with Patrick Forbes. He points to the bullpen, and he's taking his opening day starter out after just an inning and a third. So Forbes goes 1 1/3. He allows 3 hits, and he'll leave with 2 of his base runners on base. New right-hander coming in for Brewster as a Chatham bars in call to the bullpen comes in here at Veterans Field. When Chatham comes back, it'll be Ty Daly and Campbell Smithwick in the bottom of the second inning, with the A's trailing the Brewster Whitecaps 3-0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Thumb stuck out as I go. I'm just traveling up the road. Maps don't do much for me, friend. I follow the weather and the wind. I'm hitchhiking all day long. Got what I can carry in my song. I'm a rolling stone just rolling on. Catch me now, 'cause tomorrow I'll be gone. Family man gives me a ride. Got his pregnant Sally at his side. Yes, indeed, so children are a gift. Thank you kindly for the lift. I'm hitchhiking all day long. Trucker gears his engine down. Says climb on up, son, I'm highway bound. Dashboard picture of a pretty girl. I'm right.
Welcome back to Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. A Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen comes early for the Brewster Whitecaps as Jamie Shevchek, manager for Brewster, takes out starter Patrick Forbes after just an inning and a third. It's 3-0 Brewster, but Chatham has runners in first and second, and Shevchek is opting to go to Gabe Davis, the former Chatham right-hander. And Andrew, it's easy to tell it's Davis. He's 6'9", 225 pounds, and the rising junior at Oklahoma State enters to pitch against his former team.
There's no hiding the figure of Gabe Davis. He was impressive last season. He was working on starting some with Chatham over the summer a year ago. And he comes out early in what you would expect to be a long relief appearance for Davis, unless perhaps Chatham gets to him here in the second or third inning.
He has Iva Arquette at second, Luke Cantwell at first, both the responsibility of Patrick Forbes, the starter, who after throwing 4 innings on opening day managed just an inning and a third. Didn't appear as if anything was wrong with Forbes, but the early hook from Jamie Shevchek with a 3-0 lead. First pitch here to Ty Daly. He swings and pops it up, backing out of play, no balls and a strike. First pitch at 95 miles an hour from Gabe Davis, who had a 6.75 earned run average for Chatham last year in 7 outings, 5 of which were starts. Daly, the left-handed hitting right fielder from Mercer, swings his bat low a couple of times below the waist. Now strides and stands tall. 0-1. Swing and a miss from Daly, no balls and 2 strikes. 3 hits for Chatham, 3 for the Whitecaps. Brewster has scored in each of the first 2 frames. Outfield plays Daly to go the other way. Infield plays him to pull. 0-2. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. 3 pitches was all it took for Gabe Davis, who's got his first strikeout here in the second. Chatham had first and second with nobody out, and back-to-back non-productive outs brings Campbell Smithwick to the plate with both runners still at first and second. Campbell Smithwick, the catcher from Ole Miss, stands in the back of the left-hand batter's box with a slightly open stance against Gabe Davis. First pitch is off the plate outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. That one from Davis came in at 96, but just missed the outside corner. Arquette leads off second. Cantwell off first as now Davis steps off. He lets his catcher Ryder Helfrich make defensive signals. Helfrich back into his squat and is perched behind home plate. Puts down his signs. Davis shakes him off and now finds the one he wants. 1-0 pitch. Flied foul, backing out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Smithwick is 3 for 6 so far on his young summer. One of those hits, a double that came in the 9th inning against Hyannis before the off day. 500 average so far for the Ole Miss backstop. Hit may play to run for Chatham. 1-1. Smithwick grounds it into right field. It's a base hit. Skips into the outfield as Arquette turns third. He heads for home. He scores as Cantwell makes his way to third, and Smithwick plates the first run for Chatham, a single to score 1. It was a slow roller off the bat of Campbell Smithwick, but with the second baseman Fisher near second, it rolled its way into right field ever so slowly. And that brings the top of the order back up for Chatham, who is finally on the board.
Such an important spot to at least get one there after you got the first 2 on base. You forced the starter Forbes out of the game unexpectedly. And then those 2 unproductive outs to get a big base hit there. At least get 1, a good chance for 2.
Here's Austin Overn. And the lefty takes on the outside corner with a fastball, no balls and a strike. Smithwick does an excellent job of picking up both Landon Stripling and Ty Dowley, who both failed to move the runners over or bring them in. Now it's Cantwell at third, Smithwick at first. Pick goes back to first as Smithwick back in safely. Davis has allowed 1 inherited runner to score. The other one, Cantwell, takes his lead off third, 90 feet away from home. Oh, 1 to Overn, who squares to bunt, and he puts it down foul. Another time that Chatham goes around to square and can't get it down in fair territory. The count moves to no balls and 2 strikes.
With Overn's speed, if he gets that down the third base line, he probably beats it out, because Daniel Cuvée before that pitch was a good 10 steps behind the third base bag.
Infield shifts to the opposite side for Overn. The second baseman Fisher is nearly in center field. 0-2 on the way. High, ball 1. Fastball misses at 98 miles an hour out of the hand of Gabe Davis. 3-1 Brewster, 1 run in for Chatham in this inning on 3 A's singles. Still first and third for the A's, 2 outs. Davis, the former Angler, comes set. Glove held at his belt. His 1-2 comes home. Overn strikes out swinging. Chase the high fastball again at 98, and that ends the frame for the A's. But the Anglers do get on the board. They pick up 3 hits in the inning, and they score 1 run. No errors, 2 runners left on base. We head to the top of the third, a 3-1 Brewster lead on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime south of the river you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain to hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places. But the horns, they blowing that sound. Way on down south. Way on down south, London town.
The top of the third inning coming your way from Veterans Field with the Brewster Whitecaps leading 3-1 over the home team Chatham A's. And it's the heart of the order to the plate for the Caps here in the third. Nolan Schubert, who homered his first time up, then Daniel Cuvée and Andrew Fisher, two lefties and a righty against the starter for Chatham, Evan Crest. Crest from the windup looks in at Schubert, who planted one onto the right field berm his first time to the plate. Shakes his bat in the back of the left-hand batter's box and awaits the 0-0. Here it comes. He leaves it low, 1 ball and no strikes. 82 miles an hour from Crest, who went to the breaking ball on pitch 1. 3 hits for Brewster, 4 for Chatham, but the Whitecaps up 3-1. 1-0 pitch. Schubert laces it and down the right field line. It hooks foul. He was out in front of 89 miles an hour, hooked it down there at 93, but it wouldn't fall for extra bases in fair territory. Schubert, the former A, grabs the bat, taps the plate a couple of times, gets back in the left-hand batter's box. Crest set at the belt, comes home 1-1. Schubert lines it into right field, base hit. Past the reaching glove of Cantwell, the first baseman, it skips out to Daly, the right fielder. And Nolan Schubert is 2 for 2 against his former team. He leads off with a single in the top of the third.
Right on time with all 3 pitches he's hit hard. Not only did he rope one just foul, and then he doubles it up with a single hit hard. That one 95 off the bat. The home run was hit hard enough to get it over the right field wall.
First pitch to Daniel Cuvée is tapped foul back to the backstop. No balls and a strike. The home run from Schubert, if you weren't with us, went off the bat at 106 miles an hour and ended up 377 feet to deep right center. Schubert off first, nobody out, a 3-1 Brewster lead. 0-1 to Cuvée. He leaves it low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Looked like the fastball, a 2-seamer at 90 miles an hour that cut below the plate. 1-1. Cuvée struck out swinging back in the first. He's one of 2 strikeout victims for Evan Crest. 1-1. Here he swings and uncorks. Deep center field. Over and turns. It is gone. Up the berm center as Brewster has its second home run of the day. It's 5-1 Whitecaps in the top of the third.
Another no-doubter, that time from Daniel Cuvée. Brewster just keeps hitting the ball well after yesterday, and they have really gotten Evan Crest.
5 runs now allowed for Crest. That home run from Cuvée, the 5th Whitecaps hit. Here's Andrew Fisher, and he takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. 53 pitches for Evan Crest. He still has yet to record an out in the top of the third. 0-1 to the lefty Fisher. He swings and rolls it to first. Cantwell over to his right. He underhand flips to Crest covering. That's in time for out number 1. Andrew, all the work that Chatham did to score its 1 run in the second inning is immediately undone on a big swing from Daniel Cuvée.
Yeah, you felt like that was an important run. With the way the staff has pitched, you know, 3 runs, you would think they'd keep it right around there for a while, but Evan Crest has struggled.
First pitch to Chase Mora. He uncorks, he pops it up higher into center field, over and started back. Now he comes in and he makes the catch. Looked like Mora was swinging for the fences, trying to join Schubert and Cuvée in the home run party, and he got just underneath it.
Number 7, Cooper Best.
The good news for Chatham is Brewster has already had to take its starter, Patrick Forbes, out of the game. So Whitecaps are going to have to try and get 7 2/3 out of their bullpen tonight.
Cooper Vest takes a strike. The first baseman from BYU looks at a fastball at the top of the zone. 0-1. 5-1 Brewster here at Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. A's now behind by 4 with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the third. As Vest swings and misses, strike 2. So 0-2 the count As once again, Crest looks to go 1-2-3 after allowing the home run. He nods, he's ready. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Vest lines it on a couple of hops towards Arquette at short. He picks it up near the waist, throws to first in time for the out. Brewster adds 2 more on the home run from Daniel Cuvée, and the Anglers will come back to the plate trailing 5-1 here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Chatham. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning as 2-3-4 come to the plate for the A's. It's a 5-1 Brewster lead on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
To be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
town. Talk to fear Jesus in a small town. Used to daydream.
5-1 Brewster as we enter the bottom of the third inning at Veterans Field in Chatham. And the A's send Kyle Lodise, Ike Irish, and John Bay to the plate. 2-3-4 for the Anglers against Gabe Davis, the right-handed reliever who stays out on the mound for Brewster. Davis entered last inning, got the final 2 outs of the second after allowing an inherited runner to score. That's set to the tally of Patrick Forbes, the starter, who went just 1 1/3. Here's Kyle Lodise, who singled his first time to the plate. Right-on-right matchup as Lodise takes a strike on the inside corner, no balls and a strike. Lodise is a righty, then Irish, the lefty, waits on deck. John Bay, third hitter due up in the inning, also right-handed. Davis peers over his glove. Here's his 0-1. Lodise takes another strike. Went back to the breaking ball on the outside corner. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Davis working his first full clean inning of work. He's set just underneath the brim of his cap. 0-2 pitch. Lodise takes inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He had to jump back out of the way of a fastball at 97 that almost touched the letters. From the windup, once again, Davis is set, looking for the first out of the third. He deals, and Lodise takes strike 3 call. Right on the outside corner with a breaking ball, and that's the first out of the bottom of the third.
The designated hitter from Auburn, number 4, Ike Irish.
So with 1 out, that brings up Ike Irish, the DH from Auburn, who lined out to the shortstop Chase Mora in his first at-bat. Chatham trails 5-1 in the bottom of the third inning here at home at Veterans Field. Third baseman Cuvée a couple of steps in against Irish, the lefty. Fastball misses outside for ball 1. It's a ball and no strikes. Andrew, we've seen the outfield today with every lefty at the plate really play opposite field for Brewster. They do it here against Irish as well. The 1-0 home. Irish takes a strike, a fastball in the outside corner. It's 1-1.
Some powerful right-handed arms to start this game for the Whitecaps. 97 that time out of the hand of Gabe Davis. We saw up to 98 from Patrick Forbes in his 1 1/3 innings.
1-1. Down low with a breaking ball. Maybe a changeup out of the hand of Davis. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's really the third pitch in the Davis arsenal. He has a really good fastball, runs it up there. Slider is electric. He was working last summer and again this summer on that changeup. If he wants to be a starter, he needs that third pitch.
2-1. He tried the changeup again and it missed low. 3 balls and 1 strike. What better time to work on it than here on the Cape during summer ball, especially with a 5-1 lead, which Brewster has afforded to him on 2 home runs, one by Nolan Schubert, one by Daniel Cuvée. 3-1 home. Irish swings and misses, strike 2. He chased 97 above the letters, and a 3-1 count. He got his swing off and came up empty. Chatham fans quiet. The A's have just 1 less hit than Brewster, but it's 5-1 Whitecaps in the bottom of the 3rd. Payoff pitch on the way. Irish strikes out swinging. Tapped it back into the glove of Helfrich, and 2 strikeouts start the bottom of the 3rd.
Now batting for Chatham, the left fielder from Austin P, number 10, John Bay.
Andrew, I think we normally see Chatham have a bunch of energy, especially here at home. This may be the quietest we've seen the Anglers this season.
And this is up there with the Hyannis game in terms of the 2, difficult starts to the game for Chatham this summer.
John Bay takes a breaking ball on the outside corner. It's no balls and a strike. Brewster leads 5-1. The Whitecaps have stormed into Veterans Field, and it feels like they've sucked the air out of the stadium.
We've become accustomed to great starts from Chatham pitchers on the mound. Evan Kress just didn't have his A game to start here tonight.
0-1. Bay swings and misses on a fastball that bounced on home plate. No balls and 2 strikes. The A's are in danger of a 1-2-3 inning with 3 strikeouts. Davis comes set, stares in. At Bay, no balls and 2 strikes. Here he comes. It's up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One time through the pitching rotation, which started with Evan Kress on opening day, Chatham starters had tossed 18 1/3 innings pitched, allowing just 8 earned runs. Today, Kress has allowed 5 earned his first 3 innings of work. 1-2 the count on Bay. Here's the delivery. He leaves it low. Breaking ball off the plate outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you take out the blow-up start 2 from Jacob Weaver, when he allowed 5 earned runs in 2 innings, it really was a near perfect first time through the rotation for Chatham. A little more adversity here for Evan Kress in his 2nd start of the summer. Bay trying to help offensively. He pops it up, foul, stays alive, 2-2.
And it's funny that Chatham offense opening day performance, we haven't really seen anything quite like that since the A's were dominant against Wareham. And the bats have really fallen silent, although Chatham has won 3 of its first 5.
2-2. Bay takes strike 3 call. Fastball in the outside corner, paints the outer edge at 97. That'll do it for the A's in the bottom of the 3rd. They get no runs on no hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 of them the looking variety for Gabe Davis. And we're through the first 1/3 of this ball game. Brewster leads 5-1. Evan Kress will head out for the top of the 4th as I'll hand it over to Andrew Selover. He's afforded 2 home runs to the Whitecaps in his first 3 innings, as Brewster has scored in each of the first 3 frames. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Have the Whitecaps up 5-1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Top of the fourth, and Evan Crest back on the bump for Chatham. He faces Nick Dumanel in the first pitch of the inning. Misses low for ball one. Andrew Selover and Jack Smith with you. On a bit of a chilly evening in Chatham, the fog before the game really cooled off the weather. The 1-0 is laced into the right center field gap. O'Vern on his horse, he can't get there, and it rolls up against the blue fence. He fires a one-hopper in. It's late to second base, and Nick Dumanel starts off the top of the fourth with a whistle of a double.
Center fielder, number 1, R.J. Johnson.
He hit that one on a line, and it rolled all the way to the fence. Great contact from Brewster batters against Evan Crest so far tonight. R.J. Johnson, a left-hander, in the 9 spot now digs in. Brewster in front, 5-1 over Chatham. Crest looks back and comes home. Squaring and pulling back, Johnson takes low, ball one. 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Brewster. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Chatham. Evan Crest looks back to second, comes home, squared and flicked back to the screen. 1-1 the count to Johnson. Trying to move Nick Dumanel over to third base. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth. Most of the crowd has gone to the hoodies and jackets here tonight as the weather has dipped into the mid-60s. 1-1, runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to third, tag applied, it's late. A stolen base for Nick Dumanel. Brewster, no hesitation on the base paths tonight.
It's already the 3rd stolen base for the Whitecaps today against Campbell Smithwick, and it makes you wonder whether the Whitecaps had something in the scouting report on the Ole Miss catcher.
That or possibly on the pitcher, Evan Crest. They're timing up the jumps well. 1-2 pitch. Taken outside. 2-2. So a possible 6th run is standing just 90 feet away here in the 4th for Brewster. Nobody out. 2-2 the count to R.J. Johnson. Crest comes home. And it's taken high. 3-2 the count. Infield in on the edge of the grass at the corners for Chatham. Up the middle. Playing back almost on the outfield grass. Second baseman Lodis shaded to pull. Pitch. Rides outside. It's a walk. First 2 aboard to start the top of the 4th for Brewster. And it flips the order over for J.D. Rogers. 3rd at bat coming.
26, J.D.
We're just in the 4th inning.
It's the 3rd walk for Evan Crest. He's only struck out 2, and he's given up a bounty of hard hit contact.
6 hits tagged against the righty starter. Out of Jacksonville, headed to Florida State. J.D. Rogers 0 for 1. Flied out to left, and he walked. A right on left matchup. First appear over to first from Crest. Out of the stretch. He pauses and throws back to first. They got him. Johnson was jumping around. He was picked off easily as his first move was to second base. A pickoff from Evan Crest for the first out in the top of the 4th.
And again, the Whitecaps leaning towards second. Really smart play by Crest to make sure he checked over.
Not even close. I mean, they had Johnson by a full step and a half. First pitch home. Taken for a strike.
On a pickoff move, when you jump towards second base, you're dead to rights.
Ball was basically to the bag before Johnson even turned back to get back safely. He is out number 1. A 1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Crest up quickly in the count. Great opportunity for a strikeout, and that would change this inning completely if he could get 2 outs with Dumanel standing over at third base. Defense still in at the corners for Chatham. Crest ready for the 0-2. It's popped up out of play, third base side. Went high with the fastball. Rogers got up there to spoil it. J.D. Rogers has been really impressive, hitting over 500 to start the summer in 14 ABs. 8 hits, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Hottest batter in the Brewster lineup goes down swinging. Evan Crest has his third strikeout victim, and he's 1 out away from stranding a leadoff double and stolen base over at third base, representing Nick Dumanel. Brings up Ryder Helfrich, who scored the first run of the game. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Right on right matchup. Crest set at the belt buckle. He delivers. Check swing. Appeal to first. He went around. Slider in the dirt, but Helfrich could not lay off. 0-1 the count for Crest as the sky starts to darken here at Veterans Field. Still no showing of fog after the game started as the 0-1 comes in the dirt. 1-1. Pre-game today at Veterans Field, there was a good amount of fog in the area. On and off during batting practice. Showed some signs of concern for tonight's ball game. So far, though, so good. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut at 90 miles per hour. 1-2. So far, so good for the Brewster offense as well. Whitecaps up 5-1, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. 4-step lead down the third base line from Dumanel. 1-2 the count to Helfrich, the pitch. Slider in the dirt, skips away from Smithwick, but he's to it quickly. Dumanel stays put. He just slowly walks back toward third base as Crest gets the baseball back and walks right back up on top of the mound. Readjust the camouflage Cape Cod Baseball League hat. Chatham in the Red Friday shirts. Military appreciation. White pants. Crest's 2-2. On a line, foul, third base side. Helfrich got out in front of that one at 91 miles per hour. Again, he hit it on the sweet spot, but it was a good 25 feet to the left of the line. Right-handed batter digs back in his teal Brewster top and white pants. Wide stance that covers most of the right-hand batter's box. Another 2-2 is cranked high in the air. Medium depth center field. O'Verne waves his hand. He's under it. He has it. And that ends the fourth. The first scoreless inning tossed by Evan Crest. Brewster goes for no runs on 1 hit. And no errors in the field. 1 man left on base. Dumanel stranded over at third base. And so we send it to Peter Burns for a special presentation.
John Newton had a distinguished U.S. Marine Corps tour of duty. He enlisted in 1966 and enrolled in the 40th Officers Candidate class at Quantico, Virginia, where he was commissioned as a 2nd lieutenant. John then completed his infantry training and joined the 2nd Battalion, 5th Marine Regiment, serving in Vietnam as an infantry platoon commander and then as an assistant battalion operations officer. John returned stateside to Quantico, Virginia in '68, where he was assigned to OCS staff as a platoon commander overseeing the training of officer candidates. John concluded his tour and was released from active duty as captain in May of 1969. John and his wife Jan owned and operated the Short and Sweet ice cream shop in South Chatham for many years before recently selling it to their daughter and son-in-law. Short and Sweet's the official ice cream of the Chatham Anglers, and they generously provide our Anglers players with free ice cream when they visit. So, John, tonight, on behalf of the entire Angler organization and fan base, we wish you a hearty thank you for your service to the country. To show our gratitude, head coach Sheets, our manager, is presenting John with a team signed ball and a thank you for your service message. Please join us in applauding John Newton as Sheets presents his token of appreciation. Thank you so much to John Newton and to the Mass State Lottery, who is the Mass State Lottery Hero of the Game. Don't forget to check your local social media channels for more about our hero of the game. And thank you to Mass State Lottery for honoring these incredible heroes, including John.
John Newton, the Mass State Lottery hero of the game here on Friday, Military Appreciation Night at Veterans Field. Every Friday is Military Appreciation Night in the Cape League. Home teams across the league wear the red camouflage jerseys, Cape Cod writing on the front, and the camouflage hats. John Newton, the former owner of Short and Sweet Ice Cream, one of our great partners with the Chatham Anglers and the Cape Cod Baseball Network, representing the first Mass State Lottery Military Appreciation honoree. Chatham sends 5, 6, and 7 to the plate. Here in the bottom of the fourth, that begins with Iva Arquette. Gabe Davis still on the mound for Brewster. Chatham trailing Brewster 5-1 here, headed to the bottom half of the fourth. Davis out of the windup, comes home. Fastball on the knees on the inside corner, strike one. Davis works quickly, gets the ball back, turns and guns it home. And it's bounced foul third base side over towards the third base coaching box. 0-2. Good sized line at the Snack Shack right now at Veterans Field. Jack, I'm told there is a new popcorn machine that's making its Chatham A's debut tonight over in the Snack Shack.
Smelled it pregame.
0-2 pitch, fouled off, out of play.
Turned back to everyone in the press box. I said, I smell popcorn. And everyone, I was happy, smelled it too. I wasn't going crazy.
I'm not exactly sure what happened to the first one, but I take it broke.
I see someone walking double barrel action with 2 different cups of A's popcorn.
My goodness, that's dangerous on a Friday night. Another 0-2 pitch to Arquette. And that one's roped, and it drops down into left field. A base hit and a leadoff single for Chatham to start the bottom of the fourth. Are you a big popcorn guy?
Yeah, but you can't have it on a day of a broadcast, which is unfortunate. I like all kinds of popcorn, though.
It's a good point. Maybe on an off day this summer. So you're like you're a flavored popcorn guy too.
Yeah, I'd eat it. I mean, any kind of popcorn I feel like I'd eat.
Okay.
I'm not a big cheese popcorn person, though.
Yeah.
That's where I toe the line.
Have you gotten like the Boy Scouts popcorn bins?
No.
No? With the caramel popcorn, that's really
Caramel's
good.
good. I've had zebra popcorn.
What is that? First pitch home, check swing from Cantwell. He went around, strike one.
So I believe it's caramel popcorn, and then it's got drizzles of both white chocolate and regular chocolate.
Oh my.
Hence the zebra stripes.
That's quite the treat.
It's heavy, that's for sure.
Is it caramel or is it caramel? Pickoff throw to first, close play, but Arquette back safely.
I say caramel.
Okay.
I'm not advanced enough in.
Do you judge the people that say caramel?
No, just as like, I don't judge people that say aluminium. That's just not how I say it.
No, I think I would judge those people actually. Oh, 1 home. Taken outside, 1-1.
I went on a food tour in Chicago once, and there's a famous Chicago style of popcorn, which is where they take half a batch of cheese popcorn, half a batch of caramel popcorn, and they toss them together. So it's supposed to be salty and sweet.
Interesting. I think I'll stick to the caramel corn.
You can have the caramel corn, it's okay.
Caramel or caramel, whichever you choose. Ball in the dirt. Good backhand stop back behind the plate by Helfrich. 2-1 the count. Is that the best popcorn you've ever had?
Probably not. I'm honestly not a fan of the combination.
Oh,
I tried it.
That's fair.
It's for some people. Just not really for me.
That's fair. 2-1 pitch to Cantwell. Rides inside. No, it caught a piece of the inside corner. 2-2.
I think I'm just a sucker for a regular buttered popcorn bin from a movie theater.
Okay. Yeah, they can hike the prices up on you.
That is true.
That can be dangerous for the wallet. Unless you get the free refills. That's always good. Davis out of the stretch, 2-2. High, ball 3.
Yeah, I've been to the LA Live movie theater. Tickets now are like $25.
Oh, that's
Popcorn's
egregious.
egregiously high.
Well, I thought the goal was like they would let you in for a low price and they'd get you on the concessions. I mean, you can't charge high on everything.
Apparently you can.
3-2. Skips in. Ball 4. Fist pump from Cantwell as he tosses the bat toward the third base dugout. Ditches the full load of protection he has on both his elbow and his shin. And he walks down to first base, and with that, the whole infield converges on the mound, and Jamie Shevchik is back out of the first base dugout to make a visit and a point down to the pen. So a second Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen for Jamie Shevchik and the Brewster Whitecaps. It comes with nobody out and 2 on board for the Anglers to start the bottom of the 4th. Third arm of the game coming in. We'll tell you more about the latest Whitecap to get the ball atop the hill when we come back. Chatham still trailing Brewster 5-1, but the Anglers have the first 2 on to start the bottom of the 4th. Anglers threatening to cut into a 4-run deficit against the Whitecaps. Stick with us for more popcorn talk on the other side on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Long as I remember, rain been coming down, clouds of mist drift pouring, confusion on the ground. Could be through the ages, trying to find the sun, and I wonder, still I wonder, who'll stop the rain. I went down Virginia, seeking shelter from the storm. Caught up in the fable, I watched the tower grow. 5-year plans, a new deal, wrapped in golden chains. And I wonder, still I wonder, who'll stop the rain. Heard the singers playing, how we cheered for more. Crowd had rushed together, trying to keep.
As they pass through the stands, please be as generous as you can. Remember, there
Bottom
is
of the
no
4th
admission.
at Veterans
Again, the
Field.
Anglers, thank you for
Nobody
your
out,
support.
2 on, and a Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen. For the Whitecaps, second time tonight, Gabe Davis's night is done after 1 2/3 innings pitched for the lengthy righty out of Oklahoma State. He is replaced out there on the bump by Will Ray, another righty out of Mars, Pennsylvania, the junior out of Wake Forest. He's a much shorter 6'2", 220. Which isn't that short, but compared to Gabe Davis at 6'9", that's a big difference. First man to face him, Landon Stripling. Infield in at the corners. First pitch is bunted foul. We have seen 3 Chatham players try and lay down a bunt, and all 3 have been unsuccessful so far.
Twice it has been Landon Stripling. And it's just extra significant considering it's one of the things that Chatham spent nearly an hour doing before the game today.
Time called. Infield still in at the corners, edge of the grass. Double play depth up the middle. 0-1, he squares again, and he gets out of the way, and he's hit. 0-1 pitch from Will Ray came inside and plunked Chatham's Landon Stripling. And the bases are loaded.
Number 6, Ty Daly.
3 ducks on the pond for Chatham with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Brewster in front 5-1, but the Anglers in serious business for Ty Dowley in the 8-hole. Something about this Anglers team, they've drawn plenty of hit-by pitches so far this year. That's the 9th. First pitch to Dowley, he takes for strike call on the outside corner.
They're ball magnets for some reason.
Particularly Luke Cantwell, who stands at second. He's got 5 of them. 0-1 from Ray. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Will Ray works out of a sidearm 3/4 type arm slot. Rising senior out of Wake Forest. 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, and a changeup. Ahead 0-2, here's his offering. And it rides outside, skips away. Chatham runners all stay put. Helfrich had it hit him in the mitt, and then it bounced over toward Chatham's dugout. Probably 20 feet away, but Helfrich was immediately out of his crouch. His reliever, Will Ray, was quick to cover the plate, so Arquette stayed put. Probably a smart move with nobody out in the inning. 1-2 home. That one's lined foul, third base side, over toward the Chatham bullpen. This is the second appearance for Ray this summer. He pitched 3 innings of scoreless baseball his first time out with 6 strikeouts. Gave up 3 hits. No walks. Still in a 1-2 count with the left-handed hitter Dowling. The righty reliever pitches, and that one's popped foul out of play. Back toward the dugout. The house right behind Veterans Field, and that one hit off the tree, and it landed down in the backyard. If you've never been to Veterans Field, they have a row of seats that are lofted up above the fence so people staying in the house can see the game. Free souvenir for them. Another 1-2. Outside. 2-2 the count. Will Ray this season at Wake Forest. A go-to reliever. 33 appearances for the Demon Deacons. Gave up a 3.68 ERA. 44 innings pitched. It's a big workload out of the pen. 2-2. Bounced on the ground to second. Could be 2. Flip for 1. Throw to first. In time. Double play. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Brewster. 1 run is home. Ty Dowley grounds into a 4-6-3 double play, though, and there's 2 outs for Campbell Smithwick. It's 5-2 Brewster. Cantwell now stands at third base. Arquette in to score. No RBI on the double play for Dowling. Smithwick already a single tonight. Helfrich out of his crouch behind the plate. He calls for time. Resets the pitch clock. Wants to go through the sign sequence again with his dugout. 5 runs on 6 hits. No errors for Brewster. 2 runs on 5 hits. No errors for Chatham. The pitch. Inside. Smithwick takes for ball 1. (1-0). Again inside, 2-0 the count. Campbell Smithwick has arguably been the best hitter so far this summer for Chatham. Left-handed hitter out of Ole Miss, came into the day hitting .500, 3 for 6. And he's 1 for 1 so far tonight with an RBI. 2-0. Taken low. 3-0 the count. Top of the lineup, and Austin O'Verne waits on deck.
Campbell told me he's feeling very confident. Doesn't feel like he's had to make too many adjustments to Cape League pitching compared to what he saw this year at Ole Miss.
Got the night off last night. Back in the starting lineup as the catcher tonight. 3-0 home. Taken on the outside corner. strike one. Logan Poteet got the start back behind the plate for Chatham last night. It's been the main rotation between Smithwick and Poteet. Ike Irish has caught one game so far too. DH tonight out of Auburn. 3-1. Bounced on the ground to the right side. Tough play, and it squeaks into right field past the diving second baseman, Andrew Fisher. A second RBI single of the night for Campbell Smithwick. Cuts into the Brewster lead. It's 5-3 Whitecaps. 2 outs still in the bottom of the fourth.
Almost in the same spot as his first hit.
That one not hit quite as hard. And so Fisher had a chance ranging to his left. Glove on his left hand, he dove, but it just squeaked under that mitt. First pitch to O'Verne on the way. Dots the outside corner. Off speed at 86, 0-1. 0-for-2 night start for Austin O'Verne. 2 strikeouts in the first 2 innings, both swinging. Comes in hitting at .375 through his first 4 games. 0-1 pitch, taken outside, 1-1. Chatham comes into tonight 3-2 off a 2-1 win yesterday at Orleans. Brewster 2-3 off a 15-4 win over Wareham yesterday. 1-1, swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. It's YD that paces the East at 4-1 coming into the night, and then Chatham and Harwich were deadlocked at 3-2. Brewster 2-3 coming into the night. Orleans in the basement 1-4. O'Verne awaits the 1-2, and he swings right through it, strike 3. Will Ray comes out of the bullpen. He rolls a double play ball, but then he gave up an RBI single to Campbell Smithwick. So 2 runs come in the frame for Chatham. The Anglers cut into that Brewster lead on 2 hits, no errors in the field, and 1 man left on base. We are through 4 at Veterans Field. It's Brewster in front of Chatham in an East League battle, 5-3 so far. And the Anglers call on the bullpen for the first time tonight when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
On TRC, Cape Cod.
Well, I came by your house the other day. Your mother said you went away. She said there was nothing that I could have done. There was nothing nobody could say. Now me and you, we've known each other, yeah, ever since we were 16. I wished I would have known. I wished I could have called you just to say goodbye, Bobby G. Now you hung with me when all the others turned away, turned up their nose. We like the same music, we like the same bands, we like the same clothes. Yeah, we told each other that we were the wildest, the wildest.
Independence Day. Get your hats while supplies last.
Top of the 5th here at Veterans Field. A couple changes for the Anglers. The night on the mound is done for Evan Crest. He's relieved by Tyler Kozera, right-hander out of UCF. And Austin O'Verne has also moved out of center field. He's replaced by Will Gasparino. That move comes after Austin O'Verne struck out for the 3rd time tonight to end the 4th. Kozera faces 3, 4, and 5 in the Brewster lineup. That begins with Nolan Schubert, a right-on-left matchup. Long pause from Kozera. Now he winds and fires. First pitch skips in the dirt, ball 1. And after one pitch, Campbell Smithwick jogs out to the base of the mound to talk things over with his new reliever. Something he must have not liked on that first pitch, and got to confirm the signs. Final line tonight for Evan Crest. He goes 4 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs all earned on 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. In line for the loss if Chatham can't come back and erase what is right now a 5-3 deficit. Meeting done between Smithwick and Kozera. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut at the breaking ball. 1-1 the count. Nolan Schubert so far tonight. Well, he's produced back in his summer ball spot from a summer ago. 2 for 2. Home run and a single. 1-1. Taken at the top of the zone at the numbers. Just broke down enough. 1 and 2. 2-run shot to right field off the bat of Schubert in the first inning. First 2 runs of the game. Then he singled and scored in the third. Lefty awaits the 1-2 pitch and takes it outside. 2-2 the count. Schubert played for Chatham under manager Tom Holliday a summer ago, which was a big connection with Oklahoma State, where Tom Holliday's son, Josh Holliday, is the head coach. 2-2 pitch, fisted foul back out of play. Tom Holliday not back with the Anglers this summer, and so Schubert and a couple of his Oklahoma State teammates, including Gabe Davis, who already pitched tonight for Brewster, found new summer ball teams. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A weak wave and a miss through an off-speed offering from Tyler Kozera. First batter up is a strikeout for the new reliever for Chatham.
Daniel Couvet.
Top of the 5th means time to check in on some Major League Baseball scores presented by Mahi Gold Outfitters. First, the first pitch to Daniel Couvet from Tyler Kozera. Fastball low for ball 1. Jack, what do you have?
It's a match of the red teams between Boston and Cincinnati. The Reds lead the Red Sox 3-2 in the top of the 6th inning.
1-0 pitch. Inside. Scoots Couvet away from the plate in the right-hand batter's box. 2-0.
We only have one game that's gone final. The Mets beat the Cubs 11-1 to improve to 36-38 and continue their hot run through the major leagues.
2-0 pitch. That one's chopped on the ground. Foul kick save and a beauty at third base. Brewster's third base coach just stuck out the left leg and knocked it down. That was not the slowest of rollers either. Came off the bat at around 80 miles per hour. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Just missed the inside corner. 3-1 to Couvet.
You'll be happy to hear that the Atlanta Braves lead the New York Yankees 8-1. That game has just moved on to the top of the 5th. Already 11 hits for Atlanta.
Chris Sale. What an addition he's been. 3-1. In the dirt, ball 4. 1-out walk for Daniel Couvet. Brings up Andrew Fisher.
Any Boston fans aren't going to want to hear you talk about Chris Sale. They probably miss him at Fenway Park.
That is a good point. Anything else of note you got over there, Jack?
I'm looking. There's some close games going on, but a lot of the games are right in the middle right now.
Okay.
Rays lead the Pirates. That's a 7-2 game.
First pitch swinging, and it's roped into center field. A base hit for Fisher. Quick stop sign at second base, and a throw back there is late from Chatham's center fielder, Will Gasparino. Defensive replacement this inning for Austin Over. Station to station, 2 on, 1 out for Chase Mora.
There are 4 games that have yet to start in the major leagues. That's the Nationals against the Rockies, Twins and A's, Brewers, Padres, and then the LA battle, the Angels and the Dodgers, which will be Shohei Ohtani's first time facing his former team. Maybe he'll do what Nolan Schubert has done today to Chatham.
Schubert 2 for 3 tonight against his old squad. Struck out this inning, but he has 2 RBIs on a 2-run homer, 2 runs scored, and a single. Quick mound visit for Chatham after the latest base hit allowed. 7th hit of the game for Brewster. Eric Beatty, Chatham's pitching coach, is out there along with catcher Campbell Smithwick to talk things over with reliever Tyler Kozera. Came in to start this inning in relief of 4 innings of 5-run baseball from Evan Crest, and 2 of the first 3 have reached. Eric Beatty finishes up his last words on the mound, walks back in his red Chatham overshirt with the Chatham script on the front. Back toward the third base dugout. Second appearance of the summer for Tyler Kozera, righty out of UCF. The first was in a losing effort against Hyannis 3 days ago. First pitch home, Morris squares, pulls back, it's in the dirt, and a chest stop by Smithwick. Kozera came into that game against Hyannis in the 4th inning. With 2 outs in the frame, he did give up 1 run, but then his first full inning of work, he faced the minimum. Struck out 1, retired all 3 he faced. 1-0 pitch home. Fisted back to the netting. Just caught a piece of the barrel from Chase Mora, who takes a big stride across home plate, loops back around the batter's circle. Quick readjustment of the white batting gloves, and now he steps back into the right-hand batter's box. Waves what appears to be almost a salmon color dipped wood bat behind his head. 1-1 pitch to him. He swings through it. A bouncing ball in the dirt. 1-2. Again, Smithwick up to the test. He smothers it, covers it, and throws it back to back to Kozera on the bump. First baseman Cantwell stands even with the bag, right in front of the base runner, Andrew Fisher. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Tyler Kozera in relief of Evan Crest. And there's 2 outs for Cooper Vest. Fifth strikeout tonight by a Chatham A on the mound. Brings up the lefty Cooper Vest. 1 for 2 tonight, a double and a run scored. Back in the 2nd. Right on left battle. Chatham's infield now shifts back. Cantwell almost back to the outfield grass at first. Kozera peers back to 2nd, comes home, and misses outside. Five to 3, Brewster in front of Chatham. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Coming up on the halfway mark of Game 6 of the Cape League Summer. 1-0 from Kozera. That one's popped in the air, foul ground, first base side. The catcher Smithwick charges, slides, and gloves it for the final out of the top of the 5th. Smithwick charged halfway down the first base line. He slid feet first in front of the Brewster dugout to make the catch and help his reliever, Kozera, toss us scoreless, top of the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Chatham in the field, and 2 men left on base for the Whitecaps. Back-to-back zeros from Anglers pitchers. Chatham still trails it, 5-3. We are halfway home at Veterans Field.
The Cape's leader, sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer.
Bottom of the 5th from Veterans Field. Chatham sends 2, 3, and 4 up to the plate, facing off against Will Ray, the third pitcher of the game for Brewster. Kyle Lodise leads things off from the right side. 5-3, the Whitecaps lead it. Ray's first offering is taken in there for strike 1. Kyle Lodise out of Augusta, transferring to Georgia Tech next fall. With the Yellow Jackets, he'll face off against his cousin, Alex Lodise, who plays at Florida State. 0-1 is hammered deep in the air to left field. Look up, that one is way gone. Into the trees, just to the right of the scoreboard. Kyle Lodise makes it a 1-run ball game with a big blast to lead off the bottom of the 5th.
Everything you need, you have a Chatham Real Estate home run, courtesy of Kyle Lodise.
First home run of the summer for Kyle Lodise, and that's a no-doubter.
Every homer we've seen today has been no doubt off the bat, and it's no different for Kyle Lodise.
Couple barks to greet him in the third base dugout. Brings up Ike Irish. First pitch swinging, fouls it back to the netting.
Someone riled up the dog pound.
Brings a little bit of a buzz here to Veterans Field. All knotted up in the hits column, 7-7. 0-1 outside, 1-1 to Irish. 5-4 now Whitecaps in the runs column. That one was hit so hard that we did not get a distance on it from our friends at TrackMan. 1-1, low, 2-1.
Trees maybe blocked it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you really couldn't see that one as it disappeared into the woods back there. Sailed a good 20 feet over the fence, though. 2-1, dots the outside corner. 2-2 to the left-hand hitting Ike Irish. Irish hit one ball hard to start the first. He lined out to the shortstop. Chase Mora on a rope. 2-2. Fouled back to the netting. Mora, the shortstop, now stands just to the right of the second base bag, back on the outfield grass. A big shift on the left-handed hitter Ike Irish. So Mora is almost directly behind second base, and the second baseman Fisher is halfway between first and second, 15 steps into the outfield grass as the 2-2 misses outside. 3-2 the count to Ike Irish. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. 5-4 the Brewster lead. Chatham already 1 run in the inning. And the Kyle Lodise big fly. 3-2 pitch is hit high in the air on the infield. At third, Cuvée under it and snags it just below his waist on the edge of the outfield grass.
Now batting for Chatham, the left fielder from Austin P, number 10, John Bay.
Brings up John Bay, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout and ground out for the Austin P left fielder. Right-handed hitter against the righty pitcher Will Ray. First pitch, that one's bounced foul at the plate. Actually caught a piece of Bay in the batter's box, and then Helfrich jumped up to grab it. Fired it back to his pitcher. Chatham has stayed in this game after a sluggish start. 0-1. Came in and plunked him. Moved the total to 10 hit batters for Chatham this summer. The A's just keep on drawing the contact in the batter's box. 2 of them tonight. Landon Stripling once in the 4th, and now John Bay in the 5th.
Baseball is a contact sport for the A's.
Brings up Iva Arquette. He's 2 for 2 tonight with 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Another right-on-right matchup, and the pitch. Check swing, and it skips away to the backstop. An easy 90 feet for Bay. Arquette laid off. It's ball one, and that one, not really a wild pitch. Just Helfrich couldn't get the glove to it. Hit off the end of his mitt.
Seemed like the check swing from Arquette might have messed with the vision of Helfrich, the catcher.
At first, from our angle, I thought it might have caught a piece of the bat. 1-0. Taken at the top of the zone, strike one. So the tying run in scoring position for the Anglers here in the bottom of the fifth with one out as John Bay takes his lead at second base. Anglers trailed at 3-0 in the top of the second and then 5-1 in the third as that one's golfed high in the air, shallow right field. Out goes Fisher, in comes Dumanel, and Dumanel makes the play. The right fielder, Nick Dumanel, came a long way on a high pop-up. It sets down Arquette for the first time tonight. There's two outs for Luke Cantwell. Cantwell also yet to be retired tonight. Single in the second and a walk in the fourth. Left-handed batter digs in and awaits and takes inside. No. Caught a piece. He backed out of the way of it, but it was on the inner half for strike one. Cantwell stares out. Ray stares back to second. Now comes home. And that one's in the dirt. Ball one. Cantwell has received his fair share of free passes, and that is a balk. A flinch on the mound from Ray sends John Bay to third base. One and one still to count on Cantwell, who drew his fifth walk of the summer. He's also been hit by a pitch that many times. He's trying to bring home the tying run now from third base. One. Cantwell bounces it back up the middle, charging it short. Mora gloves, flips on target and on time to first. And Chatham strands the tying run at third base. The Anglers do cash in for one in the bottom of the fifth. A leadoff solo home run from Kyle Lodis to left field, and Chatham goes for one run on one hit. No errors in the field, and one man left on base. We are through five at Veterans Field, and it's a 5-4 advantage for the Brewster Whitecaps. Top of the sixth next. Stick with us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. I come here looking for a new life, one I wouldn't have to explain. That voice that keeps me awake at night, when a little piece would make everything right. If I could just turn off my brain.
The right fielder, number 11.
Tyler Kozera back on the mound for his second inning of work back here at Veterans Field. I'm Andrew Selover alongside Jack Smith. We'll get to Jack for some Cape League scores in just a minute. First, Nick Dumanel leads things off in the 8-hole. Right-handed hitter to start here in the top of the sixth. 5-4 the advantage for the Whitecaps. Back-to-back zeros from Chatham pitchers. Kozera winds and fires, and he skips one in all the way to the backstop, 1-0. A's left the tying run over at third base in the last half inning. That could be important. Some rain expected in the near future as the 1-0 is bounced out in front of the plate. Kozera to it quickly. He sidearms to first, and that is the first out.
Center fielder, number 1, R.J. Johnson.
1 up, 1 down for Kozera in the sixth, and let's check around the league. Presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza.
Andrew, it's not a good day to be a 9-inning baseball game. Hyannis and Katuitt were called in 8 innings due to a lack of light.
Okay.
The Harbor Hawks fall for the first time after tying yesterday 4-2.
Cape League classic right there. Lack of sunlight. First pitch to Johnson. He squares and takes. 0-1.
Wareham wins 5-3 over YD. That game was called due to rain in 6 innings, as the Gatemen improved to 4-2 and knocked the Red Sox down to 4-2.
0-1 pitch. Inside. Johnson skips out of the way of it.
If you were a betting man, it would make sense that the rain that canceled that game is maybe the rain that's on the way to us right now.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be a betting man. My forecast tells me that exact thing. Gets to Wareham first, gets to Chatham last. 1-1, breaking ball. Outside, 2-1.
Harwich leads Orleans right now. That game is 2-1 in the top of the 9th inning. Mariners are the home team, so searching for a win.
2-1 pitch in there, strike 2.
And the only other game that's going on right now, Bourne leads Falmouth 6-2. It's a battle of 2 one-win teams. The Braves are up by 4. That's in the bottom of the 9th.
Kozera ready. He pitches, and it's grounded back to him. He tries to barehand it. It skips away, and it's an infield base hit. A one-hopper to the throwing arm side of Kozera. He reached out his bare hand, and it hit off his fingers and rolled over to the shortstop position, but so slowly there was no play at first. If he lets it go, Arquette's charging from short and probably has a play. Instead, R.J. Johnson reaches.
But if he gets it, he looks really cool.
Unfortunately for Tyler Kozera, he did not get it. It's a dangerous play, too. Not with the glove, but with your bare throwing arm. First pitch swinging, popped out of play by J.D. Rogers.
The good news for Tyler is that it was only hit 61 miles an hour.
So my radar, Jack, shows a big storm cell moving in, covering almost the entire Cape, including Provincetown, except for Chatham. So you got to imagine in about 15 minutes, we're going to have some serious precipitation coming at Veterans Field. Quick check on R.J. Johnson at first. He's back in plenty of time. For the Anglers, that means they need to get out of this half inning and get to work offensively in the next half real quick. 0-1 pitch, runner goes. It's lined down the third base side. It's tailing foul. Touches down a good 25 feet to the left of the chalk. 0-2.
We thought we may have to deal with fog tonight. Then the fog dissipated as the sun maybe burned it off. Maybe it was all for naught. The rain could come down.
I'm not a huge fan of rain. Doesn't work out for baseball, too.
Who is a fan of rain?
I can deal with the fog. A fog out sometimes can be cool. Rain out, not so much. Smithwick out quickly to check on the mound. To check on the temperature here at Veterans Field. It is continuing to drop here as we move into the night. It says it's 65 right now. It's probably 80 earlier today. Now we're back and ready for another pitch from Kozera, who looks over his shoulder to first. He sets. Now the 0-2. He rears back and fires. And he misses inside and caught a piece of the batter, J.D. Rogers. An 0-2 hit by pitch. 2 on, 1 out for Ryder Helfrich.
The catcher, number 27, Ryder Helfrich.
Bad news with this rain expected to come soon is It's expected to continue for about 3 hours. So once it hits, you would imagine this game is done for the night. We have finished 5, so it will be a complete game whenever the rain might come and end this one. Helfrich digs in from the right side. First pitch to him. Taken. Strike called. 5 runs for the Whitecaps on 8 hits, no errors. 4 runs for the A's. 7 hits, no errors. Announced attendance tonight, 1,856 in the town of Chatham. That pitch, grounded foul, third base side. 0-2.
The main brutal part about the rain is it could put an end on a comeback that Chatham has started to mount after going down 5-1.
It's been a pretty good baseball game. Early offense from Brewster against Evan Crest. Got up 5-1 halfway through 3, but Chatham has stormed back 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, along with their 1 run in the 2nd to make it a 1-run game. Kozera's 0-2. Bounces in. Shoulder stopped by Smithwick. He gets up, pumps a throw, but both runners back to their bats. R.J. Johnson leads off of second. At first, J.D. Rogers, a good 5-step lead. He's not held on. R.J. Johnson is by the second baseman, Kyle Lodis. Kozera dangles the right arm in his red jersey. Comes set, looks back to second. Now he comes home. Bounces in. Another stop by Smithwick. He's been busy back behind the plate. 2-2 the count.
It might be starting to rain. A large conglomerate of fans have started to file out here at Veterans Field.
Now in 2024, they have the weather app, so they probably know what's coming like we do. 2-2. Popped high in the air. Third base side, tailing towards foul ground and out of play. That one was hit a mile in the air. And underneath the light post, you can now see a light sprinkling coming down at Veterans Field. We can still play baseball, at least for now, but once that starts to heavy up, then we might have a problem. And as the rain starts to fall, the sirens go off.
No one can handle rain.
Fire truck's busy back behind the right field. They're headed out. 2-2. And that one swung on and belted foul, third base side. Helfrich way out in front of that one. Keeps it an even count.
Here he is.
One out here in the top of the 6th. 5-4, Brewster in front of Chatham. 2-2 the count with 2 on. Ryder Helfrich at the dish. Kozera out of the stretch comes home. And that one is slapped high in the air, shallow right field. Out on it from second is Lodis, and he snags it for the second out. That one was about 5 strides into the outfield grass. I did not see the infield fly rule in effect. But Lodis made the play, and there's 2 outs for Nolan Schubert. Big at bat here for Chatham. Kozera can try and end this top of the 6th and get Chatham's bottom part of the lineup to the plate to try and get to work before the rain comes, but instead Eric Beatty will come out of the dugout. And he is going to make a Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen before Nolan Schubert bats. So Tyler Kozera's day is done. Eric Beatty out to get the baseball from him. And he will bring in a new reliever for the Anglers, the second reliever, third pitcher of the night, with 2 on and 2 out, and former Chatham A Nolan Schubert coming to the plate when we return. Chatham Bars in, called to the bullpen. We'll get you the reliever with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. When we come back, Brewster in front of Chatham, 5-4. Rain on the horizon at Veterans Field.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
I got my first real 6-string, bought it at the 5 and dime, played it till my my fingers bled. Was the summer of '69. Me and some guys from school had a band and we tried real hard. Jimmy quit, Jody got married. Should've known we never get far. Oh, when I look back now, the summer seemed to last forever. And if I had the choice, yeah, I always wanna be there. Those were the best days of my life. Ain't no use in complaining when you got a job to do. Spend my evenings down at the drive-in, and that's when I met you, yeah. Standing on your mama's porch, you told me that you'd wait forever. Oh, and when you held my hand, I knew that it was now or never. Those were the best days of my life. Oh yeah, back in the summer of '69.
Kyle Johnson is the new reliever for Chatham. His first outing on the mound, a two-way player out of Duke. And he comes in a Chatham Barzine called to the bullpen for Tyler Kozera. 2 on and 2 outs in the top of the 6th. A's trailing the Whitecaps 5-4. Nolan Schubert stands in. First pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike. And that rustling you hear on our crowd mic is the Bat Boys going to get the tarps available for ready access should the rain start to fall heavier. And now a balk called on Kyle Johnson. So 0-1 the count, and both runners move up. R.J. Johnson over to third. J.D. Rogers up to second. Nolan Schubert a chance with a base hit to really put this one out of reach for now for Chatham. 0-1. Breaking ball tipped back off the mitt and to the backstop. 0-2. Johnson had his first hit at the plate for Chatham last night, an RBI single. With Duke this year, he pitched in 15 games, 10 of them starts, a 4-1 record with a 4.38 earned run average. 0-2 from the lefty. Slider outside, 1-2. If Johnson can get the out here, he has a chance to give the Anglers offense a look to get back into this game tied or take the lead in the bottom half of the 6th. Again, if you're just joining us, rain is in the forecast shortly. 1-2, high, 2-2. We've got rain expected to start falling heavily any minute now at Veterans Field. Just a light trickle as of now that you can only really see if you look up at the lights. That pitch skips in. Smithwick lost it, but it's still in the batter's circle, so neither runner can advance, and it runs the count to full. If Schubert were to reach, Daniel Cuvée, who along with Schubert has a home run already tonight, waits on deck. For Chatham in the bottom half of the 6th, Luke Cantwell, Landon Stripling, Ty Dowley, and Campbell Smithwick due up. Kyle Johnson, his light blue glove, holds the baseball. He comes home. And that one's roped deep down the left field line. Long run for John Bay towards the foul line. He lays out, and did he make the catch? No, he didn't, but it dropped in foul territory. John Bay laid out head first. Arms extended. Got a glove to it, but couldn't make the play, but it was just to the left of the chalk line. And now, Jamie Shevchek is out of the Brewster dugout to have a word about that one.
We have a good vantage point from where we sit in the press box on the third base side behind home plate. You can look out a back window, and it certainly dropped in foul territory. You understand why Shevchek would want to go talk about it. From our vantage point, though, it was pretty clearly a foul ball.
There were two parts of that. You had to see if he caught it and see if it was in foul territory. And it wasn't like it just hit the ground, right? He had it hit off his mitt, so Jamie Shevchuk heads back to the first base dugout. Campbell Smithwick used that brief stoppage to go out and talk with his new reliever, Kyle Johnson. Tyler Kozera responsible for the 2 runners on the base paths. R.J. Johnson at third, J.D. Rogers at second. Schubert digs back into the left-hand batter's box. A wide stance. 3-2 the count, the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. Fist pump from the catcher Smithwick as he received a tip into his mitt. Kyle Johnson does his job out of the bullpen for the Anglers. He strikes out the 3-hole hitter Nolan Schubert and leaves 2 in scoring position. And the Anglers send the bottom of their lineup to the plate, trailing it 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Stick with us. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Well, it was nearly summer, we sat on your roof. Yeah, we smoked cigarettes and we stared at the moon. And I showed you stars you never could see. Bet it couldn't have been that easy to forget about me. Maybe time meant nothing, anything seemed real. Yeah, you could kiss like fire when you made me feel like every word you said was meant to be. No, it couldn't have been that easy to forget about me. Maybe even the losers.
Hi, this is Pierce George from the University of Alabama. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
A Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network for the Brewster Whitecaps to begin the bottom of the 6th. Brewster in front of Chatham 5-4 as the Anglers send the bottom of the lineup to the plate. The new pitcher for Brewster is DJ Primo, a lefty, the first lefty into the game tonight for Brewster, a redshirt freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If you couldn't tell, Primo spelled Primeaux. And an LSU redshirt freshman left-handed pitcher. He faces Landon Stripling to lead off the 6th. We'll get to the final line for Will Ray coming up in just a minute. First pitch, up and in and hit him. The 3rd hit batsman for Chatham tonight. The Anglers have been plunked 3 times, and that's the 2nd time that Landon Stripling has been hit by a pitch. Tying run aboard for Chatham to start the bottom of the 6th. Final line for Will Ray. He goes 2 innings pitched, gives up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. First pitch home to Dowley. Broken bat flare into the middle of the infield. Charging it short. Mora double clutches, throws to first. In time. Bang, bang play. Chase Mora nearly lost his chance at the out because he fumbled it at first out of his glove. Had to regather, but he still got it to first in time to beat out Dowley. Stripling does advance to scoring position on the play. That one broke the bat of Dowley, and it just landed right behind the pitcher's mound. Middle of nowhere. Still Mora able to make the play.
It was almost the 2nd double play rolled into by Ty Dowley.
Just not hit hard enough. Brings up Campbell Smithwick. First pitch. Taken outside. Ball 1. Smithwick swinging a red-hot barrel. 2 for 2 tonight. 2 RBIs. 2 singles. Finished that final line for Will Ray. He did not walk anybody, but he did hit 2 batters. Did not strike anybody out. fourth pitcher of the night for Brewster. 1-0 pitch from Primo. Outside ball 2. Game started with Patrick Forbes, the starter from Louisville, going only 1 1/3 innings pitched. Came out of the game despite, at the time, not having allowed a run to score. He left with a responsible runner who came around to score eventually. 2-0 home. That one is at the top of the zone, strike call. Forbes was replaced by Gabe Davis, who tossed 1 2/3 in a return to Veterans Field after playing for Chatham last summer. Gave up 2 runs. And then Will Ray gave up 1 on a Kyle Lodis solo homer in 2 innings of work. DJ Primo trying to preserve a 5-4 lead. His 2-1 pitch, caught on and missed. Elevated the fastball, runs the count to even, 2-2. Will Gasparino waits on deck for Chatham. He came in an inning ago as a defensive replacement for Austin Over. And before the 2-2 pitch, we have a stoppage in play and a mound visit. And I'm not positive, but I believe the coach coming out to the mound had his phone out open. Not sure, but possibly with some weather coming. If you're Brewster, you could try and stall this game. As the rain starts to fall a little bit harder, but still not nearly enough to delay this baseball game.
You stay out there long enough, the umpire has to come get you, and you just accidentally show him a glance at your weather app. That'd be how I would do it.
Yeah. I mean, I was wondering what he was holding as he walked out there, and quite literally, it was an open phone. Michael Hinojosa, the home plate umpire, breaks up the mound visit. Back to baseball. Campbell Smithwick digs in from the left side again. Count even, 2-2. 1 out, runner at second, the pitch. Breaking ball, lands, strike 3 called. Smithwick knew it. Frozen on a breaking ball that landed right over the heart of the zone. And there's 2 outs for Will Gasparino.
Now batting for the Anglers, the center fielder from the University of Texas, number 8, Will Gasparino.
First strikeout for DJ Primo. Third appearance of the summer for the lefty. 2 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball so far out of LSU. First pitch to the righty, Gasparino misses inside off the plate. 1-0. Gasparino plants his right foot in the back of the batter's box on the chalk. Lowers into the stance, and Primo steps off the back of the rubber. Fans have exited for the most part. Still a couple hundred here at Veterans Field, but crowd really thinned out with the rain. Spin around and a lob throw back to second. And just a courtesy tag applied to Stripling, who was well back on the bag before that ball was even received. Gasparino, 1 hit in his first 7 ABs so far with Chatham. The pitch is popped in the air behind home plate, drifting back toward the netting. Helfrich is there, and he can't grab it up against the netting. It landed down on the inside of the net in the field of play on the backstop, but Helfrich got caught up in the netting and couldn't make the grab. 1-1 to count. The only hit so far for Gasparino this summer was in his first at-bat after a defensive replacement at home against YD. He came to the plate and hit a home run. Chatham would love that right now. Trailing at 5-4 in the 6th with a light rain coming down at Veterans Field. Gasparino awaits and takes high for ball 2. Kyle Lodis, who already has a home run, waits on deck. 3 home runs tonight. That's the most of any game that Chatham's played in so far this summer. 2 of them belong to the Brewster Whitecaps. Nolan Schubert and Daniel Cuvée. 2-1 pitch. Healthy cut and a miss. 2-2. Gasparino out and back into the right-hand batter's box. as the fire trucks return home back behind the right field wall. 2 outs, runner at second here in the bottom of the 6th. Primo out of the stretch, his 2-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 3. Anglers all on the top step of the third base dugout in their red jerseys, rocking the Cape Cod Friday outfits for the home teams for military appreciation. Watching on for a 3-2 pitch from Primo to Gasparino, and it's cut on and missed. Primo strikes out Gasparino, and that ends the bottom of the 6th inning. Chatham strands the tying run again in scoring position. This time, a leadoff hit by pitch of Landon Stripling does not come back to cost the Whitecaps. We head to the 7th inning at Veterans Field. 5-4, Whitecaps in front of the Anglers. Still just a light rainfall at Veterans Field, and Kyle Johnson back on the mound when we return.
Chatham A's on the air.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam. Staring at the faces in a rearview mirror. Looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent. One could end up going to prison. One just might be president. Only in America.
Daniel Cuvée leads things off for Brewster to start the top of the 7th here at Veterans Field. Rain continues to steady under the lights and a pitch black Cape Cod sky. Kyle Johnson on the mound. He pitches. First pitch heater, cut on and missed. 0-1 the count. Still not enough rain to end this game or put it into a rain delay. Just a steady fall. The pitch up and away, 1-1. But it is enough to send a lot of the Cape Cod fans home for the night. Fans continue to file out. 1-1. That one bounces all the way to the backstop. 2-1.
Johnson fell over on the mound. Sometimes when things like that happen, as the rain now continues to fall a little bit harder, those things can be the signs to umpires to call the game.
Johnson digs his cleats back in atop the rubber. Glove to his chest. Winds and fires. 2-1 off the inside corner. 3-1. Cuvée so far tonight. He struck out in the first. He homered in the third and walked in the 5th. 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued by Kyle Johnson. 1 on, nobody out for Andrew Fisher for the Whitecaps.
That's the 6th walk for the Anglers. And it feels like just an every other game thing now for Chatham, whether the walks pop up as a problem or not.
This game not moving all too fast. Started at 7:02. First pitch home, Fisher swings out of his shoes, strike 1. We're about almost 2.5 hours in, and we're just in the top of the 7th. I mean, we are approaching full game time from last night. Got a lot of baseball to play if the rain doesn't come in. 0-1, check swing, tapper, foul. 0-2. Last night, Chatham 2-1 victors over Orleans, scoring the game-winning run in the top of the 9th at Eldridge Park. That game took 2 hours and 25 minutes. We are 2 hours and 23 minutes in at Veterans Field. 5-4 Brewster, top of 7. 0-2 pitch. Bender inside. 1-2. Andrew Fisher, left-handed hitting second baseman out of Ole Miss, 1 for 3 tonight. Stands right in front of his Ole Miss teammate, Campbell Smithwick, Chatham's catcher. 1-2. Fastball hit on the ground. Glove snare on the mound. Throw to second for 1. Arquette to first. Oh, yeah. Kyle Johnson. How did he come up with that baseball? Just magically found his mitt atop the rubber. He flung it back to second. Arquette the turn. And a twin killing for 2 outs now in the 7th.
It's like he just stuck his glove out there and found a gift.
1-6-3 for those scoring along at home. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to Chase Mora. Heater up and away. Another night, another Chatham turned double play. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball. Just missed the outside corner to the right-handed hitter. 2-0. Can't tell. I think the rain is still not really picked up. It's about the same as that pitch is hit high in the air off the hands. Third base side of the diamond. The third baseman under it, and that's where Stripling gloves it. And it is a 3-out inning as Kyle Johnson faces the minimum. And we head to stretch time. And Peter Burns says, we do it rain or shine, so we send it to Peter Burns with the Brewster Whitecaps in front of the Chatham A's. 5-4. Stand up and stretch out at home. Stretch time at Veterans Field. Peter Burns, take it away.
We got Ben. All right. Let's hear it for Ben Mills. This is why he's in the 7th inning stretch Hall of Fame. All right, on 3. A 1, a 2, a 3.
And Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if they ever get back for its route.
Root for the anglers. If they don't win, it's a shame.
'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Yay! Thank you, Ben.
A two-man show from Peter Burns and Ben Mills down there for the 7th inning stretch. A little help from the crowd, but I'd be generous if I were saying it was a lot of help from the crowd. Back here in the booth, Andrew Selover, Jack Smith with you. Thanks for staying with us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We keep playing baseball through the rain at Veterans Field. Headed to the bottom of the 7th. Chatham sends 2, 3, and 4 to the plate. That starts with Kyle Lodice. Lodice is 2 for 3 tonight. Single and a home run to go with a strikeout looking. Last time to the plate was the solo shot to lead off the 5th. Why don't you say do it again, Kyle? First pitch. Taken. Slider in there, strike 1. DJ Primo back on the bump for Brewster after he tossed a scoreless 6th inning of work. Oh, 1. Check swing on a ball in the dirt. He did not go around on an appeal down the first. Safe sign from J.C. Fernandez. 1-1.
Back to what you said about the rain, Andrew.
Yep.
The droplets look about the same size. I think there's just more of them coming down.
So you're analyzing the droplet size. The pitch. Check swing on a fastball high. Again, no appeal down. Again, no swing. 2-1. Yeah, you are lying to me if you say you can look into the lights and see the droplet size.
I could talk about circumference and diameter.
You're
and
the classic
like
weatherman that gets paid
sure.
to get everything wrong. 2-1. Inside corner, strike 2.
If it was coming down like it is now, and the droplets were big,
you're not talking your way out of this
one.
one. You're not talking your way out of that one. Long pause from Primo. He shakes off signs, and time is called. Late time granted for Kyle Lodise after that pitch took a while to come in.
Looks like he got a small droplet in his eye.
It's terrible. What a crime.
You can look up at the lights. You see the velocity and the
I'm a fog expert, not a
breadth
rain expert.
of how much rain is coming.
And
if the droplets were big, this game would not be going on with the way it's coming down right now. Pretty clear indicator it's just sprinkling.
I don't know exactly what you're trying to say here. You've lost me. 2-2. Just missed inside. 3-2. Brewster dugout thought that might have been strike 3 looking. And I figure you've probably lost a lot of people at home with this logic. After this pitch, I'll let you try and re-explain. 3-2. Tipped into the mitt, strike 3 swinging. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Ike Irish to the plate. Go ahead.
I'm not sure I believe that you won't interrupt me. Anyways,
Yeah,
if you're
20
here
seconds.
at Veterans Field, you could see when you look up at the lights that the rain is falling very quickly. There are a lot of droplets coming down, but we're not hearing any big drops right now, and the baseball game's still going on, which is an indicator that the droplets aren't that big.
Okay, better that time. First pitch to Irish outside for ball 1.
Didn't have you talking over me. I also go to school in California, from California. I'm an expert on small bits of rain since we don't get a lot of it.
I was going to say, you can't claim to be an expert on rain from California. 1-0 is up and in. 2-0.
If these droplets were big, we'd hear them. We're right above the metal bleachers. Those tend to make noise.
It's a fair point. Fair point. Primo's 2-0. Heater outside. 3-0.
Regardless, I do think it's picked up a little bit.
I believe the rain has claimed 1 victim, and that is the radar gun that I believe has been taken down. 3-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Ike Irish. Again, the tying run aboard for Chatham with 1 out now in the bottom of the 7th.
Whatever's happening with the rain, it's paramount that Chatham scores as quickly as possible, just in case this game does get called. If the A's are able to put a run across and finish that half inning, they'd at least save themselves from getting a rain-prompted loss.
John Bay trying to start the rally here. First pitch to the righty. Taken on the inside corner, strike 1. So with 5 full complete innings, if rain halts and then ends the game, you go back to the last full completed inning. And the score there is your final. 0-1. Squaring and bunting first base side. The throw, no, there is no throw. Oh, Cooper Vest made a mess of that one at first. He went to throw to second. There was no play at second. Irish was already there. He could have just taken it to the bag, but by that time, he ran out of time, and Bay beats it out.
I think Bay had him beat no matter what. I don't think Vest had a chance to tag him because that bunt was placed perfectly. By the time that Vest picked it up, Bay was about even with him down the first base line, and he had all the momentum towards the first base bag.
I thought if he got it and went straight to the baseline to try and apply a tag, he has a chance, but his first instinct was second base. First pitch taken for strike 1 by Iva Arquette.
John Bay deceptively fast, as we've seen today, on that bunt, as well as on his diving attempt in left field last inning.
Runners at first and second, 1 out. 0-1 pitch. Bounced up the middle, could be 2. Fielded at second, taken to the bag for 1. Throw to first, 1 hopper, it's late. Dug up by Vest, but not in time. Arquette beats it out. They're at the corners with 2 down for Luke Cantwell. Big spot here, Jack, because with the rain looming, it's still falling steadily. Chatham has a chance to tie this game with a base hit. And 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th.
And they narrowly escaped wasting the inning with runners at first and second. Once again, Arquette shows off his speed to first, but he needed every inch of his 6'6" frame in order to get to the base.
4 unassisted, fielder's choice. At the corners, 2 down, 5-4 the Brewster lead. Left on left, first pitch to Cantwell. Fastball on the inner half, strike 1.
Rain is definitely picking up now. You don't even have to look into the lights to see it. It's also coming up into the press box just a little bit here behind home plate.
0-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 0-2. Droplets getting bigger?
Looks like it. I stuck my hand out there for a bit and got hit with a couple big droplets.
I like this. We're putting actual theory to work here. Real life science. 0-2. Outside with a slider. 1-2. Defense back, except at first. Arquette is held on there by Vest, and they throw over there. Back standing. Irish danced down the third base line on that pickoff, but retreats back to the bag. 1-2 the count to Cantwell, who shimmies down into his stance in the left-hand batter's box. Stares out at the pitcher Primo. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. 5 runs on 8 hits. No errors for the Caps. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the A's. Whitecaps up by 1, bottom of the 7th, under the rain and the lights. 2-2. High, 3-2. Landon Stripling waits on deck. He's been hit by a pitch twice. Flied out to right once. Cantwell's 1-for-2 with a walk and a single. Now Arquette not hold on. He runs, and the swing and a miss on the 3-2. Cantwell down on strikes, and Primo again holds that 5-4 lead for Brewster. 3rd straight inning that the Anglers have stranded the tying run in scoring position, and through 7, it's Brewster 5 and Chatham 4. The Anglers go for no runs on 1 hit. No errors in the field for Brewster, and 2 men left on base. Through 7 at Veterans Field, 5-4 Whitecaps, as the rain just continues to fall and the fans continue to exit. But we keep playing baseball. Jack Smith takes you home when we return to Veterans Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on TRC.
I spent 20 years trying to get out of this place. I was looking for something I couldn't replace. I was running away from the only thing I've ever known. Like a blind dog without a bone, I was a gypsy lost in the twilight zone. I hijacked the rainbow and crashed into a pot of gold. Been there, done that, I ain't looking back on the seeds I've sown. Saving times, spending too much time on the telephone.
Amidst the rain, we head to the top of the 8th inning with Brewster on top of Chatham 5-4 at Veterans Field. Kyle Johnson stays out on the mound for Chatham. He faces Cooper Vest, the left-handed hitting first baseman, to lead things off for Brewster. And Vest hit with the first pitch, a fastball that caught him off the inside corner, and a runner at first for Brewster to start the top of the 8th. Both teams becoming ball magnets today. Chatham has been hit 3 times, and now a hit by pitch for Brewster. And with the rain coming down, Andrew, it always have to keep in mind that it's tougher for pitchers to grip anything they throw.
We've had a couple hit by pitches once the rain started.
Foul ball from Nick Dumanel starts his at-bat. It's no balls and a strike as Kyle Johnson works quickly. Here starting his 2nd full inning of work after he faced the minimum in the 7th. Came in the 6th inning and got a strikeout of Nolan Schubert to start his first Anglers outing. From the stretch, his 0-1. Dumanel spoils it foul, lines it down the right field line and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Chatham got the tying run to third base and the go-ahead run aboard in the bottom of the 7th, but could not score on the Luke Cantwell swinging strike 3. The Whitecaps search for insurance as the rain comes down. Dumanel takes a slider, bounces up off Smithwick. Runner on the move as it gets to the backstop. Vest takes second. That one went about 57 feet out of the hand of Kyle Johnson. He tried the breaking ball and skipped it well in front of home plate. 8 hits for Brewster, 5 runs. Also 8 hits for Chatham, but the A's have plated just 4. So the Whitecaps in front. Runner at second with nobody out. 1-2. Dumanel back up the middle. It's a base hit. No, it's not. Arquette has it behind the second base bag, and Dumanel runs it out. Arquette ranged well into the center field, and behind second base, he reached his glove out at the last second. He kept it from getting into center, and ultimately it didn't matter as Dumanel was able to beat out the throw. I was impressed by the range of Iva Arquette there, who just never stopped running. On a ball that you would normally see a shortstop give up on, he got it all the way out in center.
Good play and a smart play to one-hop the throw to first, even on the wet dirt. It was a true bounce. Irish just couldn't quite get the glove to it cleanly, and it fell down to the dirt. If not, I think that throw's in time to complete the out.
Would have been an unreal play from Iva Arquette, but it's runners at the corners for Brewster. R.J. Johnson, the 9-hole hitter, shows bunt and pulls it back. 1 ball and no strikes. That's the 9th hit for the Whitecaps. It's Vest at third after he was hit with a pitch. Nick Dumanel is the runner at first. Johnson sets at the belt. Here's his 1-0. Johnson squares again. It's a low slider that bounces off of Campbell Smithwick high into the air. Keeps Cooper Vest at third as it stays near home plate, but Dumanel advances to second on the ball in dirt. So Chatham has worked so close, or worked so hard to claw back here against Brewster. Have stranded the go-ahead run in consecutive innings. And now the Whitecaps threaten to add on to a 5-4 lead. Infield in, 2-0, and Johnson pops it up. In foul territory left side, it's off the netting and falls down for strike 1. It's escalated quickly, but the Whitecaps have a chance to add insurance in the top of the 8th inning. Second and third with nobody out for R.J. Johnson, who today has 2 hits and a walk. He is yet to be retired by Anglers pitching. All infielders in for Chatham. Johnson squares to bunt, and he bunts it back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And with the way that the A's have struggled today to score in clutch situations, 1-run lead for Brewster already feels tough to come back from. The Whitecaps have a chance to blow it open. 2-2. Check swing, no swing. Third base umpire Mickey Garcia throws up the safe sign as Johnson did not go around at a slider that touched the right-hand batter's box.
It's amazing because we can see in the lights this rain continues to fall, and dirt's still not really all that wet out there, it doesn't appear.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Johnson climbs back and he strikes out R.J. Johnson. That brings the top of the order to the plate for Brewster. Second strikeout for Kyle Johnson. It's the 7th today for Anglers pitching. And it brings to the plate J.D. Rogers, who has walked twice today. He's also flown out to left and struck out swinging. Infield stays in, still second and third with 1 out. As a broken bat ground ball goes to second. Lodis has it on the backhand. Looks the runner back to third. Throws errantly to first. But Cantwell comes off the base. He catches and he makes the tag. A good defensive play on both ends for Chatham as Lodis made sure that Vest was not running from third. He made an errant throw to first, but Cantwell with the awareness to allow himself to come off the bag and give himself time to make the tag.
Yeah, really bad start to the inning for Kyle Johnson. But great work from both the pitcher and his defense to get this to a manageable spot. Now you just got to finish the job and strand those 2 runners.
It's Ryder Helfrich to the plate. He swings and lines it straight back, no balls and a strike. Helfrich is a right-handed hitting catcher. hails from Arkansas. He walked, stole a base, and scored in the first. Since then, he has popped out twice and flown out to center.
Seth Tomczak warms up out of Cal State Fullerton for Brewster down the right field line.
Kyle Johnson comes set. Second and third, 2 outs. And a 0-1 fastball spots up at the bottom of the zone. No balls and 2 strikes. He has a chance to strand both of these runners after it was second and third and nobody out. Nolan Schubert looms on deck. Johnson trying to end it here on the top of the 8th. Long pause. 0-2. Grounded left side and through a base hit. In comes Vest, he will score. The relay comes from Bay to the plate. It hits off Dumanel. He scores a second run for Brewster. And the Whitecaps busted open and an 0-2 count. Ryder Helfrich comes through with a single, and it's 7-4 Whitecaps in the 8th. Boy, Johnson was on the doorstep of getting out of a Houdini-like inning. But instead, in an 0-2 count, he leaves one over the plate. And Ryder Helfrich makes him pay. So that means that Schubert will hit here in the 8th inning. 2 runs in now for Brewster on 2 hits against Kyle Johnson. Schubert homered in the first, singled and scored in the third, and has struck out his last 2 times to the dish. The lefty checks his swing, and he did not go around. There's not even a check to Mickey Garcia, the third base umpire. The slider was off the plate outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Certainly looked like Schubert may have gone around, but no check. He swings here at the 1-0 and comes up empty, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, I don't know if he went around or not, but it seemed worthy of a check at least.
2 for 4 day for Schubert, former Angler, who got the scoring started in the first. 1-1 on the way. He takes a changeup low, 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 runs in for Brewster. It's now 7-4 Whitecaps. We stand in the top of the 8th inning with the rain continuing to fall. Slanted precipitation towards home plate, 2-1. And Schubert takes off the plate outside with a breaking ball. Real close from Johnson, 3 balls and 1 strike. Left on left as Johnson stares in. He looks for the 3-1 sign from Smithwick and finds it. 3-1 on the way. Off the plate outside, it's ball 4. Again, Johnson missed with a breaking ball. He puts Schubert aboard, and now it's first and second with 2 away. There was a base open there for Kyle Johnson. You can understand after the way that Nolan Schubert swung the bat his first 2 times up why Johnson may pitch around him. But Eric Beatty now will head out. Andrew, the problem is the batter after Nolan Schubert is Daniel Cuvée, and he also has a home run today.
Yeah, I don't think you're necessarily intentionally pitching around Schubert. 2 close pitches, could have gone either way, just didn't get the calls.
Eric Beatty takes the ball from Kyle Johnson. We will get a Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen here in the top of the 8th inning. Johnson exits as his first Anglers appearance on the mound comes to a close. He's allowed 2 runs so far here in the 8th inning, and there's 2 more base runners that are his responsibility. New pitcher coming in. It's 7-4 Whitecaps. 2 in and 2 on still for Brewster here in the top of the 8th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. 'Cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Listen, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone.
There's a new pitcher on the mound for Chatham here in the top of the 8th inning with 2 outs and 2 on for Brewster. The new arm is Malachi Witherspoon, who enters in relief of Kyle Johnson. Witherspoon, the 6'2", 211-pound sophomore from Oklahoma, inherits 2 base runners and 2 runs in already for Brewster. This call to the bullpen presented by Chatham Bars Inn. And Witherspoon will focus up on Daniel Cuvée, cleanup hitter who comes to the plate with runners at first and second. Witherspoon makes his second appearance for Chatham. In his first, he went 2 innings, gave up a hit and an earned run, walked 3 and struck out 2. As Witherspoon, a little bit of a confusion with Michael Hinojosa, our home plate umpire, thought he had one more warm-up pitch to use, and so Hinojosa made Daniel Cuvée go back to the first base dugout for a second, and Witherspoon did finally get that last throw. Final line for Kyle Johnson, 2 innings, 2 hits, for now 2 earned runs and 2 strikeouts. But the runners at first and second are both his responsibility here in the 8th. Right on right matchup, Witherspoon versus Cuvée. First pitch of the at-bat, and Cuvée takes high. It's a ball and no strikes. Cuvée, the third baseman from Miami, struck out swinging in the first before he homered in the third, knocked in 2 runs. He has since walked twice. Witherspoon pins his black glove against his camo hat and now comes set at the belt. 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Witherspoon's a Jacksonville, Florida native. Went from Northwest Florida State College to Oklahoma between his freshman and sophomore seasons. He's behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes with 2 aboard and 2 out. Here's his delivery. Cuvée takes outside, 3 balls and no strikes. A walk would load the bases for Andrew Fisher, the Ole Miss second baseman, who hits in the 5 spot.
Jack, some fans at our window here down the third base line have found a perfect spot under the trees.
Trying to avoid the rain that continues to fall, but for right now, not halt the game at Veterans Field. 3-0 pitch. Cuvée taking all the way, sees a fastball that goes high. It's a 4-pitch walk. He put his bat on his shoulder, took a step back. He was barely in the box when Witherspoon threw the pitch, but he'll take his base on balls, second in a row for Chatham, and it does load the bases.
If anything, the rain has lightened up.
Droplets look the same.
Yeah, but the quantity.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Here's the lefty Andrew Fisher with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Deep in his squat in the back of the left-hand batter's box, Fisher looks at a breaking ball that crosses up Smithwick, and it's called a strike. It was a curveball that started high and outside. Smithwick went for it like it was a fastball. It hit him in the chest protector, and Hinojosa still called it strike 1.
I mean, that was right down the middle, so I guess he deserved the strike, but that might be the most crossed up we've seen a catcher so far this summer.
He goes out and he talks with Witherspoon, who maybe lucked his way into strike 1. So 0-1 the count on Fisher, who today is 1 for 4. Lined out to second in the first before he grounded out in the third. His one hit, a single that came in the 5th inning. 2 runs in for Brewster at 7-4 Whitecaps. 0-1 pitch. Fisher checks his swing. It's a strike on the outside corner. A breaking ball tied him up, and it's 0-2 the count.
Still a big spot here. If the rain keeps going like it is, you can probably play the whole game. So if you can keep it to a 3-run game, you're giving your offense at least a chance.
Whitecaps at every base. Here's the 0-2. Down in the dirt, it skips away from Smithwick, but it rolls up the third base line, right at the runner Ryder Helfrich, who goes back to the bag. Fortunate bounce for Chatham, keeps another run from scoring. Witherspoon had a 5.64 earned run average this past year at Oklahoma. Tossed 22 1/3 innings in his first season with the Sooners. Making his second Chatham appearance, he shakes, looking for the sign he wants from Smithwick in a 1-2 count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Witherspoon kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He went up the ladder with a fastball at 92, and he gets the strikeout he was pitching for and strands the bases loaded. Kyle Johnson, though, allows 2 earned runs, and Brewster has advanced its lead 7-4. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, where the bottom third of the order comes to the plate for Chatham. 7-4 Whitecaps as the A's now look for a couple more runs. Stripling, Daly, Smithwick coming to the plate. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. And I just can't look, it's killing me. And taking control. Jealousy turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I missed the bright side. I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. 'Cause I just can't look, it's killing me.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning here from Veterans Field, and the Brewster Whitecaps turn to a new pitcher. Chatham bars in, call to the bullpen brings in Seth Tomczak, the right-hander from Cal State Fullerton, who enters in relief of DJ Primo. He'll face the bottom third of the Chatham order, with the Brewster Whitecaps leading 7-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tomczak, a 6'4", 195-pound rising senior, is draft eligible after wrapping up his redshirt junior season at Cal State Fullerton. Two-time transfer here pitching for Brewster. He stares in at Landon Stripling, who leads things off. Stripling takes a strike, a fastball on the inside corner to start the at-bat. 95 miles an hour out of the hand of Tomczak. To the first lefty of 3 he will face in the bottom of the 8th. 0-1. Inside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. It's 7-4 Brewster as the Whitecaps added 2 in the top half of this inning against Kyle Johnson, the lefty reliever. 1-1. Stripling takes on the bottom part of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was 94 paint right at the knees. So Stripling behind in the count, 1-2. Tomczak from the windup deals. Stripling lines it into center field, falling, base hit. Into the left center field gap. The left fielder Rogers cuts it off. He fumbles it as Stripling takes a long turn around first, but he heads back to the bag. Thought better than to go for second. He starts off the 8th with a single for Chatham. Stripling comes back behind 1-2. He goes the opposite way for a base hit. Chatham needs all the base runners it can get. Tying run right now is in the on-deck circle in the form of Campbell Smithwick. Right now the batter, Ty Dally, who grounded out to short his last time up. He's 0 for 3. From the stretch, Tomczak misses inside with a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Where's your confidence in us finishing this game, Jack? I'm curious, as the weather reporter here.
More confident than I was a couple of innings ago. 1-0. Dally takes on the outside corner with a fastball, 1-1.
Can we get like a number on that? I'll give you your choice out of a 100-point scale or a 10-point scale.
Certain we're finishing this game. Certain. Is what I would say.
So like
the
10
rain
out of
has
10
really
confident?
slowed down.
Wow.
1-1 pitch. Dally nubs it back on the left side. It's under the glove of the third baseman Cuvée and into left field. Stripling heads for third as Dally goes to second. It looked like a tailor-made double play ball, but neither the shortstop Mora or the third baseman Cuvée could figure out who was going to field it.
Yeah, it wasn't hit hard enough, so you could hear the catcher Helfrich yell 1-1-1 immediately, saying the only play was at first, and that was going to be a tough play. Both players on the charge, and just neither one could get the glove there.
It's a hit for Ty Dally, his first of the day, and Chatham has now runners at second and third with nobody out. Maybe a sign of life from the dog pound out there in the Chatham bullpen as they bark on.
Also, I'm afraid you made the biggest mistake of meteorology. You made a certain take.
Baseball's going on,
guaranteed
Come on.
something.
Tying run to the plate in the form of Campbell Smithwick, and he breaks his bat on a roller right back to the mound. Tomczak has it to his right. He throws to first, and it's a 1-pitch out of Campbell Smithwick. Runners stay put. I wasn't confident a couple of innings ago, but the rain has really slowed down. If you're just joining us, it started, Andrew, I would say maybe in the 5th inning.
Yeah, 5th or 6th, I would say.
It was coming down pretty hard. We had a conversation about how dense the droplets were that Andrew lost, and now it looks like it's lightened up a bit.
If you want to say I lost it, you should have said it was an argument.
Gasparino comes to the plate now. Still second and third for Chatham, 1 out. First pitch to Gasparino is a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Second and third for the A's, 1 out in the inning. 7-4 the Brewster lead in the bottom of the 8th. So Gasparino is the tying run. He hits from the leadoff spot after coming in as a defensive replacement for Austin O'Verne after the 4th. 1-0 home. Gasparino lines it straight back, 1-1. He hits in the leadoff spot, which has been a black hole today for the Anglers. Combined between O'Verne and Gasparino, those two have gone 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. All of them swinging. The A's today have struck out a team combined 11 times. Tomczak set at the belt. 1-1 the pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner. He spotted up with a breaking ball, and the count moves to 1-2.
For those curious, they've ruled it a double for Ty Dally in the official scorebook.
The weakest hit double you'll ever see or hear. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gasparino down on strikes for the second time. Chatham now down to its final strike in the 8th inning, or rather out. The inning, Andrew, is playing itself out just like it did in the top half for Brewster, when the Whitecaps had runners at second and third, nobody out, back-to-back non-productive outs. In the end, the Whitecaps would end up scoring 2 on a single from Nick Dumanel.
Chatham's still got a chance in this game if you can get the 2 runs in that stand in scoring position right now.
The batter is Kyle Lodis, and he takes high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Lodis, who today is 2 for 4. homered in the 5th inning after singling in the 1st. Home run here would tie the game. Stripling off 3rd, Daly off 2nd. And Lodis takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. There is a base open for the righty Tomczak if he's afraid at all of Kyle Lodis. The problem is the powerful left-handed DH Ike Irish stands on deck, and a walk would load the bases to bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Tomczak's 2-0. Up at the top of the zone. Was just about to say up high, but Michael Hinojosa called a late strike. So 2-1 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. Tomczak looks at his wrist as he gets his sign from the pitch comp. Looks up a couple of times to his catcher, Ryder Helfrich, steps atop the rubber and comes set. Tomczak delivers, and Lodis cues it high in the air, right field line. Dumanel races over, and the right fielder makes the catch for the final out of the inning. A basket catch over his shoulder as he neared the 3:14 marker down the right field line. So Chatham again brings the go-ahead run, or rather the tying run to the plate. They do not score. We head to the 9th inning, still a 7-4 lead for the Brewster Whitecaps on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. I'm gonna take you, girl, and hold you and do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. One more thing I just want to say right here. I'm gonna wait till the stars come out and see that twinkle in your eyes. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love begins to shine. You're the only girl I know that really loves me so.
Hi, this is Kyle Johnson from Leesburg, Virginia. You listen to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
We head to the 9th inning here from Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, with Brewster holding a 7-4 lead over the A's. Malachi Witherspoon stays on the mound for Chatham. He will face the middle to end part of the order for Brewster. Chase Mora, then Cooper Vest, Nick Dumanel, the 3 due to the plate for the Whitecaps, who look to add to their 7-4 lead. Ramon Orozco, one of the hitting coaches for Chatham, heads out to the mound. He will hammer in what looks like a cleat cleaner behind the mound, just on the dirt behind the rubber. If you're just joining us, it's raining here in Chatham, just as it has across many other towns on the Cape. There was already a rain cancellation after 8 innings in Wareham. We have rolled on to the 9th inning, and it looks for now like the rain will not get in the way of this game finishing. Witherspoon digs out his cleats, cleans them up, and stares in at Chase Mora. First pitch to the righty. It hits him on the back with a fastball at 91. As Mora tosses his bat high in the air towards the first base dugout. He takes the stroll to first, unfurling his batting gloves. Still hasn't made it there. It's a slow, slow walk, but Brewster has a runner at first with nobody out in the ninth. Andrew, correct my number if we need to.
Okay.
I think that's the 5th hit by pitch today when you combine both teams.
Let's see. Give me 1 second. Might be 6, actually. 3 Brewster Whitecaps have been hit by a pitch, and 3 Chatham
I
Anglers.
am wrong. Thought that was the 2nd.
6 of them.
Runner at first, nobody out. First pitch fastball is in there to Cooper Vest. Vest, the left-handed hitting first baseman from BYU, doubled and scored in the 2nd. He was hit by a pitch and scored the first of 2 runs for Brewster last inning. Today he's 1 for 3. Witherspoon set. Here's his 0-1. Swing and a miss from Vest. No balls and 2 strikes. Feels like it's paramount that Chatham does not allow a run in the top of this 9th inning if the A's want to have a chance to come back in the bottom half. A's have gone scoreless in each of the past 3 frames and already trail it by 3 runs. No balls and 2 strikes on Cooper Vest. Here's the pitch with the runner on the move. It skips over the head of catcher Campbell Smithwick. Mora has second easily. He thinks about third, but the Chatham catcher Smithwick goes and picks it up to keep Mora at second base. It's a stolen base for Chase Mora. He puts himself in scoring position with nobody out. Witherspoon again goes to the cleat cleaner. He kicks it a couple of times with his Sooner red cleats. The Oklahoma pitcher back atop the slab. A 1-2 count with a runner at second and nobody out. Look at second, 1-2 on the way. Up high with a fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. What was once a big crowd here in Chatham, just over 1,800 people, has turned into a shell of itself and sounds like a library, with the rain driving many home and the A's trailing it by 3. Witherspoon set, 2 balls and 2 strikes. His pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. A high fastball and a cut and a miss from Cooper Vest. 1 out in the top of the 9th. That brings up Nick Dumanel, who singled and scored in the 8th inning. He is 2 for 4 today with a single, a double, and a stolen base. The right-handed hitting right fielder from Cal Baptist strides in, bounces a couple times in the back of the box, holds his neon green bat tape as he sets into his ready position. Witherspoon looks to second a few times, now comes home. Swing and a miss from Dumanel. It's no balls and 1 strike. The A's looking to win back-to-back games for the first time this summer. It's an uphill battle in the 9th inning as Brewster leads 7-4. The A's have been alternating win-loss, out to a 3-2 start so far. 0-1. Inside for ball 1. It's a ball and a strike. Coming into today, Chatham's 3-2 record marked the team's best 5-game start since 2019. That is, uncoincidentally, the last year that Chatham finished with a winning record and made the playoffs. 1-1 from Witherspoon. No swing off the outside corner. Dumanel able to hold up. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Andrew, the rain has come down, and while it hasn't stopped the game, it feels like it's almost taken the crowd completely out of it. Both dugouts are quiet. There's a game going on in it, but it just doesn't feel like it.
No, it's quite an odd feeling here at Veterans Field.
2-1, runner on the move towards third. It's bounced back to Witherspoon. He comes off the mound, lobs it high to first, and it's just barely in time to get Dumanel. He took speed off of his throw, and he almost paid for it as Dumanel was hustling up the first base line. There's no sound on either side. Of course, Brewster in front 7-4, but even the Whitecaps aren't making very much noise at all. It's like they all don't want to be out there in the rain.
Pretty lifeless last couple innings. And the game itself is just dragging on.
Malachi Witherspoon now stares in at R.J. Johnson with a runner at third and 2 outs. 7-4, Brewster on top, 10 hits for each side. First pitch to Johnson. He golfs it high and deep to right field. Dowley is racing back. He leaps and makes the catch at the last second. A small hop in front of the right field fence, and he maybe took a home run away from R.J. Johnson. So it's a jumping final out of the top of the 9th inning, and it keeps things intact for Chatham to try and launch a comeback in the bottom half of the inning. 7-4, Brewster on top. As we mentioned, 10 hits for each team. The A's bring Ike Irish, John Bay, Iva Arquette to the plate, needing 3 to tie, 4 to go home with a win here at Veterans Field. Seth Tomczak stays on the hill for the Whitecaps, looking to mow down the middle of the order for the A's and get the Whitecaps to an even 500, 3-3. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball, only on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
It's the last chance for Chatham here at Veterans Field. 7-4 Whitecaps on top as we enter the bottom of the 9th inning. Ike Irish, John Bay, and Iva Arquette are the three duet for Chatham as Seth Tomczak, the right-handed reliever for Brewster, stays on the hill. The lefty Irish, then the righty Bay, and then another righty in Iva Arquette, with Chatham trailing it 7-4. Rain continues to fall as Ike Irish takes a fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Today, Irish, the DH from Auburn, does not have a hit. He walked in the 7th and was stranded at 3rd. Outside of that, he is 0 for 3. Here's the 1-0 from Tomczak. It is off the plate inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Chatham got the tying run to the plate in the 8th inning, down by 3. For 3 straight batters were retired with runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2-0. Irish bounces it towards first. In comes Vest, the first baseman. He underhand flips to Tomczak, covering at first. 1 away. Similar rally was stymied for Chatham in the 7th inning, as the A's, who were down by just 1 at that point, got the tying run to 3rd. It was Ike Irish, before the A's were not able to score on a strikeout by Luke Cantwell. So Andrew, the Anglers certainly not without their chances today, but just have not come through.
Left runners on base in all but 1 inning so far tonight.
With 1 out and nobody aboard, here's John Bay. First pitch to the righty. He swings and lines it straight back foul. No balls and 1 strike. The rain continues to fall. It's been a steady stream downwards with sprinkles since around the 5th inning. Has not gotten totally in the way of the game yet, although now the infield dirt turns a darker shade of brown. 0-1 on the way. Bay checks his swing, bounces it towards short. Mora charges, he gloves, he throws on the run, and he's out. A punch out by J.C. Fernandez as Bay is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. Wasn't an easy play for Mora, the shortstop. He fumbled a little bit with the exchange from glove to hand, but he was able to make the strong throw in time to get Bay by just a step. So the last chance for Chatham is Iva Arquette. He is 2 for 4 today. The shortstop from Washington comes up with 2 outs, nobody aboard, and a 7-4 deficit for Chatham. And he takes a slider on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Arquette has scored 2 of the 4 Chatham runs on singles in the 2nd and 4th. 0-1 pitch. He golfs it foul, and Chatham's down to its last strike. 0-2 the count, 2 outs. Brewster scored 6 in the first 3 frames. Looked like the Whitecaps might run away with it and potentially run rule Chatham. Rather, it was 5 in the first 3 innings and then 2 in the 8th after Chatham threw up 4 straight zeros. 0-2, up high, ball 1. The A's got their first run in the 2nd inning and then launched a mini comeback through the middle part of the game, scoring 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th. Since then, the A's have gone scoreless. 1-2 from Tomczak. Off the plate inside with a breaking ball. It skips out of the glove of Helfrich, 2-2. Now it'll take a mini miracle. Down by 3, nobody aboard, 2 outs. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Iva Arquette. Tom Zach fiddles in his glove, comes set, 2-2. Arquette dribbles it towards short. Mora again charges. It's out of his glove, and it rolls towards the pitcher's mound. Arquette safe at first. And Arquette is given a hit. It's his 3rd of the game on a ball that bounced out of Mora's glove as he was charging in. That gives Chatham its 11th hit. It prolongs the game. And now the burden falls on Luke Cantwell trying to keep it alive. 11 hits for Chatham, 10 for Brewster, but the Whitecaps are an out away from claiming a 7-4 win. First pitch to Cantwell is a fastball at the top of the zone, no balls and a strike. Arquette is now 3 for 5, and his hustle pays off once again. Cantwell today has singled, walked, grounded out, and struck out. He's 1 for 3. Trying to reach base a 3rd time as he checks his swing at a high breaking ball. It's too high, 1 ball and 1 strike. If the A's can't prolong the game and tie it, it'll be another game, Andrew, where they out-hit the opponent but lose, which we saw a couple of games ago. 1-1. Up high at the top of the zone, and a late strike call from Michael Hinojosa. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chatham out-hit Orleans yesterday, did grab a win. Against Hyannis, the Anglers were run-ruled 11-0 despite out-hitting the Harbor Hawks. 1-2 pitch. Off the plate inside with a breaking ball, 2-2. Funny how the game works like that sometimes. It's really about what are you doing with runners in scoring position. Yeah, something that Chatham has struggled with today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner at first with Chatham down by 3. Tom Zach shakes, now comes set from the stretch. Here's his 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the ball game. Brewster comes to Veterans Field, and the Whitecaps beat Chatham 7-4. Tom Zach holds on. He gets the save in the 9th inning. A strikeout of Luke Cantwell, and once again, strikeouts are part of the story for Chatham. 13 Ks to go along with 11 hits and 4 runs, and an unfortunate loss for Chatham as the hitting just never came together, Andrew.
Chatham just never quite could cash in. They had their chances down the stretch. The pitching did its job for the most part to bridge that gap after a tough start from Evan Crest. But then the 2 in the 8th off Kyle Johnson really put Chatham back behind the 8 ball, and they could never cash in down the stretch with those chances. They had runners in scoring position, but couldn't get that big hit.
The A's left 10 on base. They fall to the Whitecaps 7-4 to fall to 3-3 on the season. It's still raining, but we've got the Anglers Extra Post-Game Show for you coming up. We'll have the final line scores, the winning and losing pitchers, as well as post-game highlights. Anglers Extra Post-Game Show is coming up next as the A's fall to the Brewster Whitecaps 7-4. For Brewster, it's their first road win of the year to improve to 1-3 on the road and 3-3 on the season. 10 hits, 7 runs for Brewster, 11 hits, 4 runs for Chatham as the A's fall back to 500 and lose and fail to win back-to-back games for the first time this year. Anglers Extra Post-Game Show coming up here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
When the lights go down in the city
When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, ooh, I wanna be there in my city. Oh, oh, when the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, ooh, I wanna be there in my city. Oh, oh, Anglers Extra.
Welcome to the Anglers Extra postgame show, presented by the Chatham Bars Inn, New England's premier oceanfront resort, as the Anglers fall to 3-3 with a 7-4 loss at the hands of the Brewster Whitecaps. 11 hits for Chatham, just 4 runs, as Brewster has 10 hits but plates 7. And that was enough to do it to send Chatham to 500 and boost Brewster to 3-3. Your winning pitcher today is Gabe Davis, the reliever for Brewster. He came in after the starter Patrick Forbes went just 1 1/3 innings. Davis went 1 2/3, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, but he struck out 5, and the former A is the one who gets the win today at Veterans Field against Chatham. The loss goes to the starter Evan Crest for Chatham. We'll have more on him later as the Anglers Extra postgame show continues. Crest went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 earned runs, including a couple of long balls. He struck out 3, but he ultimately got the loss. Seth Tomczak came in. He pitched the last couple of innings for Brewster, and as he entered the 9th inning with a 3-run lead, he picked up the save. That'll send us to the Anglers Extra post-game highlight as presented by Touchstone Closing, as the rain will prevent us from getting a post-game interview down on the field. So we will get to the post-game highlights, and it started immediately in the top of the 1st inning as Nolan Schubert, the former Chatham A, came to the plate. J.D. Rogers had flown out, Ryder Helfrich had walked and stolen a base, and Nolan Schubert, who already has 2 home runs on the summer, came up to the plate looking to do some damage against his former team. 2-2 home. Schubert hits a high fly ball. Deep to right field, he knows it. Dally turns, he watches it fly. Halfway up the berm for Nolan Schubert's 3rd home run of the summer. It is 2-0 Brewster in the top of the 1st. Schubert's 3 home runs lead the Cape Cod Baseball League, and he did here at Veterans Field what he didn't do a lot last summer. He struggled while playing 33 games for the A's last year, but today he launched a home run that eventually put Brewster in front for good. That made it 2-0 Whitecaps, and the next highlight comes in the 2nd inning as Brewster was looking to add on. There was a runner at second base for R.J. Johnson who came to the plate, and the 9-hole hitter had things in mind to do to Chatham. 1-0, and Johnson ropes it into right field. It's a base hit. On a couple of hops to Ty Daly, the right fielder, who tosses it in toward second. Best comes in to score, and the Whitecaps have a 3-0 lead. So the Whitecaps at that point led 3-0. It was part of a big offensive explosion early for Brewster. More on that in a bit, but Chatham was looking to respond with its own catcher, Campbell Smithwick, the 9-hole hitter, coming to the plate. This was in the bottom of the second inning as Smithwick came to the plate with Iva Arquette at second. He had Luke Cantwell at first, and looking to do some damage, Smithwick came up with runners at the corners. Smithwick grounds it into right field. It's a base hit. Skips into the outfield as Arquette turns third. He heads for home. He scores as Cantwell makes his way to third, and Smithwick plates the first run for Chatham, a single to score one. Wouldn't be the first time that Campbell Smithwick came up big for the A's today in the 7-4 loss, but after he made it 3-1 Brewster, the Whitecaps looked to respond in the third inning after scoring in the first two frames. Nolan Schubert once again did his damage. He got on base with a single to start the frame before the cleanup hitter Daniel Cuvée came to the plate, looking to add on for Brewster. Here he swings and uncorks. Deep center field. Over and turns. It is gone. Up the Berman center as Brewster has its second home run of the day. It's 5-1 Whitecaps in the top of the third. First home run for Daniel Cuvée. He would finish his day with a couple of hits and a couple of walks. Was on base nearly every time against the A's today. That would send us to Campbell Smithwick's second at-bat with Chatham trailing 5-1. And once again, the A's would come knocking, looking for their catcher to come through. Again, Arquette and Cantwell were on base when Smithwick came up as he looked to respond to the early offense from Brewster.
3-1. Bounced on the ground to the right side. Tough play, and it squeaks into right field past the diving second baseman, Andrew Fisher. A second RBI single of the night for Campbell Smithwick. Cuts into the Brewster lead. It's 5-3 Whitecaps.
That made it 5-3 Brewster, and it seemed like Chatham was tired of letting the Whitecaps hit all the home runs. Kyle Lodis would come to the plate to start the fifth inning with Chatham trailing 5-3. He wanted to make a little bit of noise of his own.
Plays at Florida State. 0-1 is hammered deep in the air to left field. Look up, that one is way gone. Into the trees, just to the right of the scoreboard. Kyle Lodis makes it a one-run ball game with a big blast to lead off the bottom of the fifth.
After giving up 5 runs in the first 3 innings, Chatham pitching would end up throwing up 4 straight zeros, and it helped that Kyle Johnson helped himself out on the mound. The left-handed reliever from Duke, making his first pitching appearance of the summer for the Anglers, had run into a little bit of trouble in the 7th inning, but then he got a ground ball right back to himself and made a nifty defensive play.
1-2. Fastball hit on the ground, glove snare on the mound, throw to second for 1. Arquette to first, oh yeah. Kyle Johnson, how did he come up with that baseball?
It went 1-6-3, and Johnson turned it into 2 outs. That would keep the A's in it, but not before Ryder Helfrich came to the plate in the 8th inning looking to bust it open. The first 2 batters got on for the Brewster Whitecaps, and then with 2 back-to-back outs, Helfrich had his back up against the wall, and an 0-2 count with 2 outs and runners at third. He wanted to make sure that the Whitecaps didn't go home empty-handed in the 8th inning. 0-2. Grounded, left side, and through a base hit. In comes Vest, he will score. The relay comes from Bay to the plate. It hits off Dumanel. He scores a second run for Brewster. And the Whitecaps busted open, and an 0-2 count. Ryder Helfrich comes through with a single, and it's 7-4 Whitecaps in the 8th. So Brewster would score for its final time, leaving Chatham the 9th inning to try and come back down 3. Seth Tomczak stayed on the hill for Brewster. He got 2 quick groundouts of Ike Irish and John Bay before it looked like Iva Arquette was going to end the game on a ground ball to short. It went under the glove of Mora, the shortstop, and gave Chatham one more breath of life. Luke Cantwell would come to the plate against Tomczak, looking to prolong the game for the Anglers, who trailed it by 3. Here's his 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the ball game. Brewster comes to Veterans Field, and the Whitecaps beat Chatham 7-4. So just like that, the Whitecaps would improve to 3-3 and knock Chatham to 500, a 3-3 record for the Anglers as well. Those were your post-game highlights presented by Touchstone Clothing here on the Anglers Extra Post-Game Show. Again, we apologize that we did not have a post-game interview for you here on the Anglers Extra Post-Game Show. We've got plenty of post-game coverage coming from our two writers, Cooper Andrews and Zach Wolf. That will come out tonight, be updated before tomorrow, as the Anglers will stay at home at Veterans Field against the Falmouth Commodores, who come to town for the first time. For my partner, Andrew Selover, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham falls to Brewster by a final score of 7-4. We'll be back in action tomorrow with first pitch at 7 p.m., which means the Anglers Extra pregame show starts at 6:40. We'll hope you join us as the Anglers take on the Falmouth Commodores for the first time. Again, thank you so much for listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network, and enjoy a great rest of your night.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2024 has been brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn, Chatham Clothing Bar, Touchstone Closing, Mahi Gold, Chatham Hardware, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, and by the Chatham A's.
Chatham A's Baseball, sports radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ.